Welcome to the Eternia Archives Weekly Podcast, where we discuss current and historical gaming topics that are of interest to us and our followers on social media. If you like our content, consider hitting that thumbs up icon, subscribing to our channels, following us on Twitter, and joining our Discord server with the invite link in this video's description. With that out of the way, Lane, what is our topic for this week?
So, we are at the end of the PS4 generation. In 4 days, it's PS5 time. Let's go.
Let's go. So exciting.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, today, our only topic is going to be not top 5, top 10 PS4 games. So, yeah, in celebration of the PS4, amazing console. Joining us this week is returning champion, Nabil. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Back through popular demand, the higher ups they asked for it, and I'm here.
That's
Hi,
right.
everybody. Glad to be back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you again. So, yeah, without any further rambling, let's just get right into our lists. So, Nabil, you're our guest. Why don't you go first with your number 10 pick?
Ooh, let's go. Let's go. So my number 10 is Uncharted 4.
Nice.
This is actually the first PS4 game I own because the PS4 that I bought was the Uncharted 4 bundle, the Slim
Nice.
bundle. So Uncharted is one of my favorite series of all time. I used to play it when I was younger and when Mr. Rad still lived in Puerto Rico with me. We used to play the entire Uncharted series with one controller. We would switch. Sometimes he would
Okay.
play, sometimes I would play. So it was really fun.
Nice.
And this is a culmination of basically Nathan Drake's entire journey throughout all those games. And you grew up with Nathan Drake playing each game, and this is like the perfect send off for him. So it feels like a new generation Uncharted game. I love the dialogue, the story. It's a great time. So that's my number 10. There we go.
Awesome, man.
It is an amazing game. Yeah. So out of the Uncharted games, how does it rank between them for you?
Yeah, so I always have a hard time if deciding if I like this one more or the second one because the second one was such a classic. The way it starts, it's like the perfect sequel. It improves so much from the first one. But this is probably a close one, if it's between the second one and this one for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Uncharted is a series I recently got into last
Yeah.
month. Yeah, made it through the first two. I bought Uncharted 4. I haven't got to it yet, so that'll definitely be an honorable mention for me just because I love the first two games. But
I
yeah,
gotta say, I've only played like half of the first one. I haven't played the rest. I own them all. It's what Callie does. She buy games and she doesn't play them. Um, it's- I thought it was interesting. It was like Indiana Jones, the game. It's a really cool concept. I just didn't really get into it, but that's a good pick.
yeah, for
I,
sure.
I really like it. And I mean, I really like Naughty Dog's style of storytelling and dialogues,
Yeah,
I feel like they get better and better with every game.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Cool.
It'll be interesting to see if I mean they still have The Last of Us, but it'll be interesting to see if they have a new IP that comes out on PS5.
Hopefully. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. See what they come
Yeah,
with. Yeah.
because they started with Crash Bandicoot, and then that turned into Jack and Daxter on PS2, and then Uncharted on PS3, and then and Last of Us, and then that went into PS4. And I think it's time for a new IP from Naughty Dog. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
I agree.
Yeah, cool, awesome pick. Rad, you want to go next?
All right. So my number 10 is Tales of Berseria.
Nice. Good pick.
Nice.
One of my favorite Tales games of all time. Um, it has my favorite story on the game, my favorite main character, in Velvet. I think Velvet, it's a really strong protagonist. I really like the dark tone of the game,
Yeah.
the revenge. It was a nice change of pace, from the normal Tales of games. And I really enjoy that. It's not it is a game that is far from perfect, in my opinion, because I don't think that the gameplay is stellar, but everything else, like the characters, the story, the pacing, everything is so good. The world, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Tales of games, and yeah, it made my top 10 barely, but it made my top 10. That's the thing, that the PS4 has so many quality
Yeah.
games that broke my heart to leave some games out of the list.
Yeah.
But
Number
yeah,
10 was my hardest to
yeah, but
pick.
Yeah.
for me personally, Tales of Berseria had to be on it. So have you guys tried Tales of Berseria?
Oh yeah.
I
I'll just
have,
say that it's coming
yeah,
soon.
I have played it. I got like 10 hours into it, and I didn't like the combat system as much as some of the other games, so I kind
Hmm.
of put it down. But I might go back to it on PS5. So
Yeah, I think it's very you can get away with a lot of button mashing if you play on a lower difficulty, but I think it probably could get pretty interesting on a higher difficulty. I think if I ever replay it, I'd play it on a harder difficulty for sure.
Yeah, I love the game to pieces, and that's actually one of the games, probably out of my list. This is one of the games I would like to replay the most, because it's probably been the longest. Of, yeah, I think I played this game in 2018, so it's been a while, yeah, and I remember having such a good time.
Yeah, cool, awesome pick, man. All right, Callie, number 10.
I this list was tough for me, but uh, making sure that this game was on the list was important, so it made the number 10 slot. And that game is a game that a lot of you have talked to me about this summer, and that is Ghost of Tsushima. That is my number 10 on this list. You're like, wow, Callie, that's your first platinum, and that's your number 10? What the hell's on this list? Ghost of Tsushima, the first two-thirds of the game was phenomenal. It would have been much higher on the list if the last act didn't. You guys know what happened. Uh, I disliked that a lot, but the game overall was great. I love the parkour. I love the shrine puzzles. That was phenomenal gameplay. I loved that. I hated the stealth combat. The samurai gameplay was really good. The abilities were really cool. And the multiplayer survival mode is also really fun if you get four friends on voice comms. It's pretty great. Mine, right? Like,
Mine, mine, mine.
I just want to play more with everybody. But the last weekend we played that, and we really didn't. We only just had me and Nick show up. So I think on PS5, when more people want to play it, I think maybe multiplayer could be something we could do more easily. Um, it's a fun game. Give Ghost of Tsushima a shot, but wait a week and get it on PS5. You'll
Yeah.
thank me. You'll thank me.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is one of the first games I plan on playing on my PS5 outside of Demon Souls, of course, because I've purposely held off on that game since the PS5 is just around the corner. So
Yeah, I mean, I streamed that game as well, and I got the platinum as Callie, and yeah, I'll talk about it later. But it was a great game.
cool.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as Lane. I'm probably gonna wait until the PS5, but that's a sure. I'm sure gonna play that game.
Yeah,
Great
looks
pick,
good.
Callie.
Yeah, good one. Okay, so barely made the cut, but my number 10 pick is Final Fantasy 15. So
Wow,
Okay.
interesting pick.
yeah, and let me explain. So the first time I played Final Fantasy 15, I was pretty disappointed. However, if you play the whole game, and all the DLC, it is a much better game. They
Yep.
really fixed, or I should say, filled a lot of the plot holes that were in 15 when it first came out. There's still a lot of it's still a very flawed game, but for me, what I really loved about Final Fantasy 15 was the kind of the brotherhood uh, theme that the game, friendship theme the
So
game
in other
had.
words, you like K-pop bands. I got it. So BTS Army, let's go.
Let's
Well,
go.
that's not exactly what I meant, but I guess you can take it however you want. But anyway, I guess I don't know. I like the whole bromance theme of the game. I think that's something that not very many games have. I guess just four buddies, going on a road trip together and saving the world. There's there was a scene at the very end of the game that really hit me hard, hit me in the feels bad. So
Yep.
I can't. And if you finish the game, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, as much as the game is flawed, especially in terms of the open world, the combat, and the plot holes. Um, that scene at the end will, it was something else, and I really did like the way the game ended as well. So
So can we talk about Final Fantasy for a second and how I love the episode you guys were on with Phoenix Edge last week? I watched that.
sure,
Um,
yeah,
it was
Yeah.
it was really good, and it amazed me just the like you guys had so much knowledge about the game. I learned so much. I was like, I didn't even know they announced this shit yet. I was very impressed. So
yeah,
big shout out to Lane and Rad. You guys did an awesome
yeah.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Shout out to Phoenix Edge too. Those guys, if you like Final Fantasy,
Hmm.
those guys know all three of them, Hat, Stan, and Eric.
Yeah,
They know their Final Fantasy. They know. I mean,
they know a lot about it.
yeah, they
Like yeah,
go very in depth on Final
Yeah,
Fantasy, and I mean
I
they cover other games, but they are definitely hardcore Final Fantasy
yeah
fans. So if
I
you enjoy that,
I really
check them out.
was. It made a lot. It was really nice that they like spent several minutes at the beginning just introducing you guys and our channel because we're little. We're not a big community. We have an amazing Discord though. Like our Discord community, like that's some of my best friends online. Period, are in that community.
Oh
So
yeah, without a doubt.
um, I was really happy to get to see two of our awesome members get to be on a pod. That's a pretty big podcast. They have a lot of followers. So that was really
Yeah,
cool. So you guys did an awesome job.
yeah, yeah. I've been listening to Phoenix Edge for several years
yeah.
now.
They
They're
have.
great.
I've watched several episodes from their show, and they're really entertaining. Like everything Final Fantasy is very good from them, but they also have like other stuff. So yeah, go
Yeah,
watch them as
Exactly.
well.
yeah, for sure.
And about Final Fantasy 15, I've only played a couple of hours of the game, and I really never, um, you know, committed to it. I guess that's the word. So I'm actually going to do a playthrough when at some
Yeah.
point next year. I have the Royal Edition
Oh, good.
version,
Yeah.
Good.
which I
I was
think it
just
is
gonna
a
say, like, play it with the DLC because
right.
it's a way better game with the DLC. I played through the game twice, once when it first came out, and then I played it again a couple years later with all the DLC, and it's such a better game.
Yeah, I'll give it a
Yeah.
Still
chance.
not perfect, but better. So
Cool, man.
yeah, so that's my number 10. Nabil, what's your number 9 pick?
Number 9. So I was thinking about putting this game on the list or not, but just because of the amount of hours I spent playing this game, I had to include it on my list. And it's Overwatch.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is probably one of, if not the most a multiplayer online game that I spent time playing. A friend of mine convinced me a few years ago to get it. I didn't know what Overwatch was. I didn't know that style of gameplay. So I picked it up and I started playing, and man, I spent probably like 200 hours on that game or something like that. I really enjoyed it. I played competitive. I played with just normal friends, and it's really fun. You have these different characters. It's a 6v6 style of gameplay multiplayer. It could be very toxic at times, but that was part of the game, and you really could enjoy it. So I had to include
Overwatch
it.
is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Who's your
fun.
Yeah.
main?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah. So my tank main, I used to tank Roadhog a lot. Roadhog was my tank main, and DPS, I used to use Soldier and Junkrat. I use them a lot. And
Nice.
I used to be healer. When I was a healer, I picked Lucio and Mercy. Those were my mains when I was.
Okay.
Well, Mercy before they
Yeah.
nerfed her to the ground.
Yeah, before they nerfed her exactly.
Yeah.
When she could rescue everybody.
Yeah,
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 your mains are pretty similar to mine. I played Roadhog every chance I
Nice.
could. He's my favorite
Yeah,
character. He's
he's so
so
fun.
fun to play.
Yeah,
The hooks are so satisfying to get. It's just like,
when there's a
yes, in your
random
face.
sniper. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
there's a
just like,
random
oh,
sniper
wait a
out
minute.
there and get over here.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Looks like we lost Rad. Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
played Overwatch on PC for a while with some friends. I'm not good at shooters, like at all. So
Yeah,
I was kind of just like a meat popsicle they shot at.
yeah.
But
The nice thing,
it was
I'm
fun.
also not very good at first person shooters, but the nice thing about Overwatch is the aim doesn't have to be very like on
Yeah,
point. I mean, if you're
exactly.
playing a sniper, it does kind of, but like, I mean, if you're shooting in the general direction, you can kind of react to
Yeah,
their movement. You don't have to be super precise. So that's why I
yeah,
felt like I was a little bit better.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Some
think
of the
Blizzard did a good
characters.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of the characters like Junkrat, you could just aim a little bit, and the bombs they would fly around and they would destroy
right.
the enemies.
Yeah,
So you didn't have to be so precise on those attacks. So
yeah.
it's fun.
It's a fun game
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, good pick.
thanks.
All right, Rad, what's your number 9?
So my number 9 um, is a game that took me by surprise. It was the first game I played from that franchise, and I think to this day it is still my favorite game of that particular franchise. That game is East 8, Lacrimosa of Dana.
Nice.
Um, that game, the exploration on the island, the combat was so um, fast paced, with the skills and everything. That feeling of having to find people in the island in order to unlock other areas was fascinating to me. um, it is just a great game overall. Like if you are into action RPGs, that's one game you have to at least try at some point. It is originally a PS Vita game, which it's even more impressive, because it looks really good in the PS4 as well and runs really well. So so yeah, that's my number 9 pick is 8.
Yeah, I gotta say, there was so many games I was like, I can't put this in the top 10. But Use 8, it's really good. You guys give it a shot.
Yeah, Ease 8 didn't quite make the cut for me, but it's still a fantastic game
The
Yeah, I
for
love it
music,
to
sure.
can
pieces.
we just
Yeah,
all
it's
agree that the music from that game is just
oh,
phenomenal?
that's the best
Yeah,
thing. I mentioned several aspects of the game that I like, and I forgot the most important one. The music is
the
so
music.
Yeah,
glorious. It's just
yeah. And Kiss in the chat said it. I mean, Falcom sound team is just
yeah,
they're they come up with the best
that's
music.
my jam, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Holy
I will
crap!
say, Lane, there's some music coming up that you haven't heard yet, and
Ooh.
Cold Steel 4, like
Well, I actually probably
there's
have because I listened to the soundtrack
no, no,
on
no. Oh,
Spotify.
you might have, but just know that the Geofront, the music there is very good. It's very
Oh
good.
yeah, yep. I am in the Geofront right now, so yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm look. That East 9 is probably one of the most anticipated 2021 games for me. Probably alongside um, games that like God of War or Horizon, but like I think it's 8. I mean, it's 9. It's gonna be probably cross platform, right? It's gonna be on the PS4 and PS5 maybe.
Oh yeah,
So
I bet.
so
Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, I think that's February. Yeah, really looking forward to it and
yeah.
see how
They might
if
not
they're
even
able
have
to
a
improve.
PS5 version.
What was
It
that?
might
Sorry.
just be. Oh, I was just saying they might not even have a PS5 version.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. That's what I. Yeah. It is probably. Maybe it is only PS4. Who knows? So.
Yeah,
But yeah, really looking forward to play that game.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Spring 2021 is going to be stacked,
Yeah.
especially since we found out today Mass Effect
Yeah.
Legendary Edition. Let's go.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wow, I don't care about the series at all.
Oh, Callie, it's so good.
yeah.
Mass
So
Effect
so
is
you
my
may see,
jam.
okay, so I don't like Bethesda games. Like I don't
It's
like
BioWare.
I don't like BioWare games either, really. When I've
Oh,
played, I haven't really been impressed. But you look at the kind of games I play, Lane. Come on. Look
fair
at
enough.
how
Fair
I play
enough.
games. It's not a Cali game. Here's the fun part. I was talking about this on with Hope during one of my streams today. It was so funny. Um,
Mm.
I own Mass Effect 1, 2, and Andromeda. I paid $1 for each of them out of a bargain bin, so I have them. I'm never gonna play them, but I've got them. I just, it's not for me, but I've heard so many people talk so highly of it. So
It's
highly.
it's my favorite Western RPG series
I
by
was gonna I
far.
was gonna play them anyways, but once I saw Lane's PS3 top five, yeah, he convinced me to try the series even faster. And now that we have this news, then it is a no brainer
Yeah. It's fantastic. The story is incredible.
because I have two and three on the PS3, but I want to start with one.
Yeah, yeah, I'd recommend it, and hopefully they do some improvements to the gameplay on one because one is definitely the worst out of the three gameplay wise. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. So cool, good pick, Rad. Callie, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is a game that released this year as well, with Ghost of Tsushima came out this year. This game also came out this year, and it took, like, I remember when I saw this as a tech demo for PS3, I was like, oh, they're gonna do it. Oh, they're gonna do it. Oh, we're on PS4. Hey, we're almost on PS5. Oh, they're gonna do it in like 18 parts. And it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake is my number
Mhm.
9. I I have not played a game like that in years. I took off that weekend from work. I played through the entire game in 4 days. Like all the side quests, everything,
Mhm.
like 40 some hours, and I came out of it and I was like, where the hell have I been? I've been like, it's this time vortex because I haven't sat down and played a game that hard in years. And I was just like, where am I? Who am I? What's my job? I'm a scientist. Okay. Uh, I just completely forgot about everything. This game, though, guys, I loved Final Fantasy VII, and I'm thankful that I upgraded my system with the SSD so that way the load time would be better. And I saw they made other improvements because if you had an SSD, the textures loaded faster. Um, so the system, it did okay, but I thought the combat was serviceable. I didn't like there was no tanks. Like no matter what I did, they would attack me. Even if I was standing there and my party was attacking, the combat was okay. Cloud in combat was very fluid, very fluid. Tifa was also good. Um, the story, no spoilers, but what they're doing with the story in the next couple sections, I'm very excited because it's going to be a unique experience that we don't expect. So I'm very excited to see what they do. Um, so I really I recommend it if you play the original, but just know it's not the same game. It's not the same at all, like at all. So like my husband's like, I will play it when they've released all the parts. So I'm like, okay, see you when you're 60. Uh, it's gonna
See
take
you in
forever.
like 40 years.
See you like 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing that we don't even know if it's
yeah.
gonna have like one more part or two or three because they can do whatever they want now. So
I'm
um,
Exactly.
guessing there's gonna be at least 3 parts, at least, if not 4 or 5 or 10.
I,
Um, did you guys like the game?
But
Did
then,
you play it?
mhm.
I love the game. I really like the
Yeah.
game. I have some issues with the game, but it doesn't mean that that I didn't enjoy the game. I actually loved the game, and I was so close to putting that game on this list, and it was so close. So, but it is
Mhm.
there. It is there. It is fantastic in my opinion.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's my number 9. I just can't believe it's that far down the list. Like I can't believe it. When I look at the rest of this list, I'm like, wow, the PS4 had some phenomenal games.
Yeah, I mean
All right.
it was a pain to do the list to be honest.
Mm.
It was heartbreaking, but let's let's see how it goes from now.
Yeah. So, interesting enough, Final Fantasy VII Remake is also my number 9 pick.
Let's go.
And let's hear a
Yes.
little bit different perspective here. So,
Ooh.
I'm don't agree with Callie. I hate the direction the game is going in, but I really liked the combat. I loved seeing these characters that looked like polygons in the original brought to life. I loved seeing the reimagining of certain scenes from Final Fantasy VII in this game that were very, very true and faithful to the original. And as soon as I got to the end, I hated the ending. Plain and simple, I hate it. I don't know how else to put it. Everything up to the everything up to the ending was amazing, and then the ending completely, I don't like it. So
Would you like
I
17
See,
chapters?
you see, that's the different thing though, Lane. When I got to the
Yeah.
end of the game, I was so hyped. I was like, what are they gonna do? This is so awesome. It feels like just insanity. Like that was a very ignore the fact that you don't like the story. That was an epic boss fight. You have to admit that.
it was epic visually, but it was it felt very forced and
Fine.
didn't
All
feel
right.
The,
appropriate.
So
the
is it
the reimagining of Midgard though. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
so
That
chat?
I loved that. Like actually seeing like I remember just sitting there in the game and just like looking at Midgar in the plates and just being like, wow, I am playing Final Fantasy VII Remake right now and I'm looking at freaking Midgar. And I was just like, this is so awesome. Right.
Yeah.
So
So here's a question for the chat. Are you Team Lane, who did not like the story direction, or are you Team Callie that loves the story direction they're doing? Vote in the chat. Team Lane, Team Callie.
I
Once
see that
again,
Hope commented while you were talking,
let's see
Callie.
what did he
Hope
say?
commented, Lane is
Yeah.
What did he say?
disgusted by. Meanwhile, Lane is disgusted by this talk of
That's
Final
so
Fantasy
good.
VII
That's
Remake.
so good.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
so
said
I
it.
gotta say though, Lane and I agree very close on the games that we love. We have very
Yes,
similar tastes in games, but we are
yes,
diametrically opposite at what we think about those games. So it's just so funny.
yeah.
It's so
It's fun.
funny.
Yeah, because me and Callie right now are completely on the same page on Cold Steel 4 right now. It's
you
just like,
guys are like the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cold Steel 4, I am 26 hours into it, and I'm still in the first chapter. That's all I have to say. That's it. That's the tweet.
Mhm.
yeah.
Gonna be a long game then.
Yep. 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 It's a thing. All right, Nabil, what's your number 8 pick?
Number 8, God of War.
Ooh, God of
Nice.
War.
Dad of War.
Boy, boy, boy. So,
Boy.
what can you say about this game? It's like an incredible experience if you were a fan of the original God of War games. Now you change from the Greek mythology to a Nordic mythology. So you follow like this new line of gods, this new history to explore. And the best part of this game is that our good old powerful, vengeful Kratos is now a dad. Boy, boy. This is the best part. I enjoy the combat of this game because you feel like it's a God of War combat, but at the same time, it's not only just slashing and attacking and doing insane like 50 combos. Because it's a little different. You sometimes the attacks are a little bit slower when you include weapons like the axe or stuff like that. So it's really interesting. It has some intense fights. You guys can go watch Rads. He's been playing this game. The fights with the Valkyries, for example, those were some intense fights.
I was so hard.
Yeah, that
I
was
was
so
so hard. I
great.
thought I was playing Bloodborne for a second.
Yeah, I'm like, is this a Dark Souls game? What the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it a
But
Dark Souls
yeah,
game if you crank the difficulty high enough.
Right.
exactly. Yeah. So I know that some people have issues with like the camera perspective, like that over the shoulder camera. Um, I didn't mind it. If at first it was kind of annoying, but I think you can get used to it
Yeah.
eventually while playing. But I can understand like that criticism of the game. But other than that, it's a really solid game. Number 8.
I'm loving
I
it.
mean, that's my criticism.
Yeah.
And I loved the earlier God of Wars because I loved the fast, fluid,
Yeah.
slashy, like Callie combat. The first few games are like, this is fun for Callie. The new one, I'm like, this feels like Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
It's so slow,
Yep.
methodical, like he's a grandpa trying to go around swinging his freaking pickaxe in the air.
Boy.
Where's my
Boy.
slashy stabbers? Where's my slashy? Where's it at? I don't want this axe. Get it out of here.
Well,
It's
if you would
mature
play
now.
later, if you would have kept playing it, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
Wait, the
just saying.
slashies come back. You get the slashies.
I'll just say it gets a little bit more
Oh,
Yeah.
fluid.
okay. All
Interesting.
right. Okay,
It
I'll
gets
try it on
interesting.
PS5 because it's going to be
Yeah, do
60
it.
frames per second. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gonna get a
I'm
sequel,
trying
so-
it
I
right
might
now.
replay the game. Honest, I kind of want to replay that game. I
Yeah,
loved
I'm
that
having
game.
so
Yeah.
much fun. It's
Yeah.
such a good game. I'll talk about it later. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Ragnarok is coming eventually, so you guys can get hyped for that.
Oh yeah, oh
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, my goal is to beat the game before before the
Ragnarok comes out.
PS5 arrives. Yeah.
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 I think you can do it, Rad. I think you're fairly close.
Yeah.
So. Awesome. Good
Great
pick.
pick, man.
Yeah. Brad, what's your number 8?
So my number 8 is one of the games of the year for me, of 2020. A game that Miss Callie already talked about. And it is Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice.
That's my number 8. Yeah, I love the game. It's I think the best thing about the game is the world they put you in, and this we were craving for a good open world Japanese culture based game. It's been like what, like 10 years, and we don't have still like an Assassin's Creed game in that vibe. That's
Right.
probably
Coming
the
soon,
next.
probably.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the next game. That's my
In
bet.
fact,
but
I'm kind of glad that Sucker Punch beat him to it because
Right.
I think Ghost of Tsushima is probably miles ahead of anything that Ubisoft could put out for Assassin's Creed in Japan.
some of the side missions are so good. Like the tales. It's cinematics. The story's okay in my opinion. I think I'm not gonna say I hate the third act like Kali does, but I think it is better first, and then it is still okay. I don't mind the direction the story took. I like the characters. Some of them are really really interesting, like Sensei Ishikawa and Lady Masako, for example. Um, the combat is fine as well. I think that what makes the game good is that it has barely no weaknesses. Like at least everything in the game is solid. It is decent at least. So, and there's some things that are extraordinary, like the exploration. So yeah, it is definitely one of the games of the year for me, and I got the platinum in the game. That speaks for itself. That's how much I like the game.
Petting
That's
every
my
fox. Petting every fox all the
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
yeah, petting every fox is the best part. Just, but I gotta say, when you get towards those very end, where you're like, I gotta find like 4 more fox shrines. Okay, do I get to pet it? And you get disappointed when you don't get to pet it, and you're like, oh, maybe the next one.
Yeah.
No, maybe the next one.
Speaking of petting foxes, do you guys pet Cerberus every time in Hades?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Duh.
No doubt. It's he's so precious. We have to.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
right.
to. But
There's a Steam achievement for actually petting Cerberus a certain amount of times.
oh really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. But yeah, that's the shrines though. The shrines. I forgot about the shrines in in Ghost of Tsushima. That's probably one of the best parts of the game. Like the exploring through the shrines is just so good. And Kali already mentioned the the Ghost of Tsushima Legends is good as well.
Mhm.
I prefer the base game, but I think it is a good addition too, and it is free. So what more can you ask for? So yeah, that's my
cool.
number 8.
Good pick. Callie, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is actually the third game in a series that I absolutely love. if you have not played this game, you absolutely need to play it on PS5. I don't remember if it is one of the ones you get for free or not. It's hard to keep track. That game is Infamous Second Son. And that game, God, that was one of the first games I played on PS4. And it was just amazing. Like you get to have this this guy who's a graffiti artist and he just magically gets fire powers. Like he gets to set shit on fire. Actually, it's smoke powers. Sorry. Sorry developers. Sorry. It's smoke powers. But he gets to set stuff on fire. You get other powers in the game. It's really cool. Like Infamous as a series is probably the best open world series they made before another game that I will talk about later in the list. But Infamous, if you haven't played them, oh my God, the quests. There's a good versus evil path, and your abilities change and your looks change based on which way you go to help people or to just flat out murder everybody. Callie picks the good path, because that's be how the Callie do. Um, but it's if you have you guys played Infamous Second Son?
I haven't
I
played any of
haven't.
those
I'm
games.
actually waiting for the PS5 collection. Yeah.
It's very good. It's a pretty decent length game too, but it's really good. I loved Infamous, and when I was looking through the games that I own today to make this list, and I saw that on the shelf, I was like, oh, this is great. And there was a DLC for it too, where you got to play as another character that has light powers, like neon lights as a superpower. It's really cool. It's basically what would happen if real people had superpowers and not like the Avengers and stuff. Like just this random graffiti artist kid just magically gets powers all of a sudden. So I gotta say, it's give the game a shot. If you like Ghost of Tsushima, if you like open world games, you need to play Infamous. You will not regret it.
So you mentioned a PS5 collection.
Yeah, you know when the system comes out, if you have PS Plus, like everybody does, you get like 20 games for free. Isn't it on
Oh,
that?
it's on the list. Oh,
I
okay,
think it
okay,
is. I'll go look it up real quick.
okay. Is it okay? Is that a good one to start with?
I'll go look at the list while you guys are talking, and I'll discuss it
If
during my
somebody
next
hasn't
turn.
played the Infamous games, is that a okay one to start with?
Yeah, the first two are one collective story. The third one is a completely separate story, but there's little hints to it throughout the
Okay,
game that, I mean, it's not like Cold Steel to where if you didn't play the
okay,
Crossbell games, you didn't play these games. No, you can play that one without doing the other ones.
okay. Cool. I'll check it out. Got a lot of games to play from that collection, so looking forward to that. Cool, good pick. So my number 8, you might be surprised by this one. So my number 8 pick is Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Ooh,
So you guys all know I'm a
really?
huge fan of this series, but
Seriously?
yeah,
You put that one? Okay, all right.
yeah, and let me explain. So Trails of Cold Steel 3, while it has an amazing ending, the first 75% of the game is boring as hell. Like, and judging the game as a whole compared to the rest of the series, it is very far back in regards to my favorite games in the series. And you guys all know that I like the older games better than Cold Steel anyway. So that's why Cold Steel 3 is so far back for me, is it's judging the game as a whole, I think it's very, very flawed in the beginning of the game. I don't like how, well, maybe I shouldn't say because it might be a spoiler, but basically it's kind of, I'll just say it's kind of a rinse and repeat of Cold Steel 1. And third game in the series, we're done. We should be done with all that bullshit and be moving on and doing cooler stuff. So for that reason, um, it's a lot lower on the list for me. But I mean, you guys know I love the whole series. At the series as a whole, I always say it. The series as a whole is amazing, but if you judge each game individually, I think they're not spectacular. I think it's
I
the whole
I
series
will
that makes it.
say that Cold Steel 3, the first like three-quarters of it was just hot trash. It was 89 for days.
Yeah,
I was so upset about what they did. I'm like, who cares about this new cast of people? Like, go away. Just
I
just
100% agree.
just give
100% agree.
me Give me the Ashen Chevalier. I don't care about your all's BS. Just it's just 26 hours in a Cold Steel 4. I'm still in Act 1. 26
Yeah,
hours. 26 hours.
yeah. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the more Legend of Heroes games I play, the less patient I get with all the stupid bullshit they do at the beginning of those
Yeah,
games.
I'm really worried about what they're going to do with Hajimari no Kaseki because if 3 and 4 have this much padding, just imagine all the characters they're going to be in Hajimari.
Right.
It's going to be like 50 characters like, yeah, let's go kill the thing. Hey, yeah, let's go kill
Yeah.
the thing. Hey, yeah, by the way, let's go kill the thing. All 50 characters like, I don't have time for this shit. I'll take a nap and come
Yeah.
back when the
I,
text is
I,
over.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
thing I
know.
liked
I'm seeing you guys complain so much about Cold Steel that I'm starting to think that Sky over Cold Steel.
Sky's worse. Sky's worse.
no, it's not. It's so,
I
so
I
here
I love the Divine Knight stuff so much. Like I love the combat in Cold Steel. Like that is what saves it for me. And the combat sections, that's what does it for Callie. The story, like right now in 4, it's like, oh, can we just can we go, please? Can we take the training wheels off? I know what I'm doing. I've played like a bunch of these games. I get it. Let's go.
Cold Steel is such a step down from the first two
It's
games
not.
series.
It's not.
It's it
It's
it is so.
not.
There's no reason. So all the Sky games and all the Crossbow games are less than 50 hours. There is no reason those games need to be over 50 hours. It's all a bunch of trash and
I will,
padding
okay,
bullshit.
fine, fine. I will admit that the first 30 hours of Cold Steel 4 could have been a cutscene and they just switch right over to Chapter 2. Like, Chapter 1 does not need to exist in the game.
I agree with that. I agree with that. There is no reason Cold Steel 4. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Japanese people love 100-hour games, but I don't like playing games that are 100 hours long. I don't like that. I think you can have a solid experience in less than 50.
Like Hades. Hell, I beat that in like 4 or 5 hours. It's amazing.
yeah.
Hades is so good.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that later. But yeah.
Interesting pick, Lane. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
want to try that game at some point, even if it is a slow burner.
Yeah, I'll get through it eventually, but like it doesn't hold a candle
The
to
the
Sky and
problem
Crossbow.
is
I'm
because
sorry.
I was so hyped for CS4 because I was like, it's the end of Saga. They're bringing so
Yeah.
many characters back. But that's the problem. They brought too many characters. There's too many names. I'm like, who are you?
Yep.
I saw you
Yep.
once like 55 hours ago. Who are you?
Yeah, I hate that. It's like, okay, I can get into class 7. There's a lot of people in class 7, but I can at least remember all their names. But like throughout Cold Steel 4 in the beginning, you're meeting all these side characters and you're like it's like, oh, it's what's her face? I can't even remember her name, and they're all happy, and they introduce her and give her a big
Oh
scene.
yeah,
You're like,
it's like the
I don't even
baker's
remember your
daughter.
name, and I don't
Yeah,
care. I don't care who you are.
it's the baker's
Move on.
daughter of some town
Move
that
on.
no one's ever been to. Yeah, I heard of
Yeah.
her. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Falcom, get
Man,
your
the
shit
old
together.
innkeeper's sure having a rough time right
I
now. Let's
know.
help him out.
Yeah. Like there's a
Who
part
gives a
in
shit?
you have to go do a survey. Have you done the survey quest yet? You probably haven't done that yet. But like you have to
Survey
go
quest.
and do a survey of all the different people. Like, what do you think about this? I was like, are we like polling people for the election? What is this crap? This is I'm done. I'm done with asking people what they think. It's dumb. I'm out. I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, move on. Let's get off this
Yeah.
topic.
We won't turn this into a let's complain about Cold Steel
Cold Steel 4
topic.
rambling.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so Nabil, what is your number 7 pick?
Okay, so number 7 is one of my most recent playthroughs. It's Sekiro, Shadows Die
Let's
Twice.
go.
So this game is an interesting game because normally the Soulsborne games, we're all fans of the Soulsborne games, including Kali. I know she loves the Soulsborne games.
Yeah.
Uh, so
I'm
this game is
glaring at you so
interesting.
hard right now.
So normally the Soulsborne games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they're filled with lore, but you don't really have like a story.
Sure.
There's a lot of lore overall. This game, on the other hand, you have a protagonist. He has a name. That's Sekiro, and this guy has his story. I'm not gonna talk a lot about it because spoilers, and this game is kind of recent, so maybe some people haven't played it yet. But it's interesting because you can, before Ghost of Tsushima came out, you could explore a little bit about Japan, and the combat is very, very, very interesting and very, very, very tough the first time you play. It's interesting because when you compare it with the other Dark Souls games, maybe the other Dark Souls games, including Bloodborne, they could be difficult even the second and the third time you play it. This one, you learn how to fight because you can follow certain patterns and such. But the first time you play it, you're gonna die a lot, a lot. And sometimes you can die to a random guy with a spear because you don't know how to step on the spear so he doesn't kill you. That happened to me a lot. So I died like 50 times to a random dude on like the first 5 hours of the game. But I really enjoyed it,
Ah,
and I really love the story. I really love the story they do in this with this guy. So I really recommend this game. It
Those
won
spears,
Game of the Year.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Holy
hated the
crap.
spear guys. I didn't
Holy
know how to
crap.
fight them. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
fight them.
They. It's like, yeah, like that game doesn't hold your hand by any
No,
means.
it doesn't. You need to learn by yourself.
It is fantastic in my opinion, and there is a reason why that game was game of the year in
Yeah.
2019. So
that is also on my backlog for PS4 games that I didn't get to that I'm going to play on PS5.
You're gonna enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah,
awesome pick, man,
yeah,
awesome pick.
cool. Brad, go ahead. I'll be right back, but I'm still listening.
All right, so my number 7 is a game that I'm loving right now. I'm playing it right now on my channel. I'm doing a playthrough of it, and this is the game that Mr. Nabil mentioned a round ago. God of War,
God of
aka
War.
Dad of War.
God of War.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. On top of what you already mentioned, I mean, I like many things about the game. Take into consideration that I've played only like 50% of the game, and it is already number 7 in my list. So
Yeah, that's a
um,
bold statement.
yeah, I've only played 50% of the game, um, and it is not already number 7 on my list. So I don't know where this game is gonna end in my list. 2 weeks from now, for example. But I love it. I'm really loving like this reboot. Like I like Kratos and the Greek mythology, but um, yeah, you can feel how should I put it? When you play this game for a while, you realize how old the other games are. Even
Yeah.
even even if they are fantastic, because I love God of War 1, 2, and 3. But this game is just in another level. Like the storytelling, the graphics is one of the most beautiful game of the generation. Um, this might be one of the games of the generation. To be honest, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure this game is. If you play this game for a decent amount of time, this is probably in many people's favorite lists.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
so excited to keep playing every boss, every every realm that I arrive, that I
Mhm.
discover. The relationship between
Yeah.
Kratos and his son, it is so good.
Mhm.
I didn't expect to see this side of Kratos when I decided to play this game after seeing how ruthless he
Yeah.
was in the first few games. So
Mhm.
yeah, my number 7 is Dad of War.
It's like
Awesome
you
pick.
said with
Boy,
Sekiro. That game got Game of the Year for a reason.
right, exactly. So
And
this
it,
God of War
Yeah.
got Game of the Year in 2018 for a reason, I guess, and that it beats. I think it beats Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
yeah,
For
Red Dead Redemption 2 was released that year as well.
many people's favorites for that
Yeah,
year. So
they were hyped for it. They were
right.
Yeah.
waiting for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well
yeah, that's my
deserved.
number 7.
Awesome pick.
So before I go to my number 7, I'm going to read off the list of PS Plus collection games that you guys get for free, day one, if you're a PS Plus subscriber on PS5. We got Batman Arkham Knight,
Mm, good
Battlefield
game.
1, Bloodborne, which I need to play, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles, It's not a spin-off of Cali Chronicles, I promise. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy,
Ooh,
Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, Dad of War slash God of War,
Boy.
uh,
Boy.
boy, Infamous Second Son is on the list, so you could play it for free on launch. It's going to be amazing. It looked so good on PS4, so I don't even, it's going to look amazing. The Last Guardian, The Last
That's
of
one
Us,
I'm looking forward to.
The
The
Last
Last
of
Guardian.
Us Remastered, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat 10, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Uncharted 4 A Thief's End, Until Dawn, and of course, the one, the most important of all of them, Bug Snacks, will also be
Bug
available.
snacks.
Bug Snacks is free.
Let's go.
It's free. So it's not superior. Lane, I'll admit, the padding is way too damn much in Cold Steel. But I like the story, the overarching story with the Divine Knights. I love it, okay? I love the Divine Knights. That's what does it for me. The combat and the Divine Knights and the systems. That's it.
for reference to our
That's
audio
it.
listeners, Callie just got super triggered by my chat in our on our live stream.
Uh, all I have to say is that anyway, moving on. My number 7, right? 8, 7, what are we on?
7, yeah.
7, yes.
7 is probably the one game, the greatest Kickstarter game I've ever played. I loved this game so much. I played it as soon as it came out. I beat the shit out of it immediately. I loved it. It was phenomenal. And that game is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Nice.
It is the best Metroidvania on PlayStation 4. I highly recommend it. If you like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, if you like Ori, if you like any Metroidvania at all, you owe it to yourself to play the fantastic game Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's so good. The bosses are great. The graphics are nice. The music is just stellar. Guys, this Bloodstained is just, it's so amazing. Like, Koji Igarashi is a genius. I really hope that they make a sequel or another game. I want more. Like, I feel like Metroidvanias are dying, like good ones. There's a lot of junk ones out there, but this one was probably one of the top 5 Metroidvanias that ever existed. So, if you're looking for a good Metroidvania and you have a PlayStation 4, please, please give Bloodstained Ritual of the Night a shot.
I really like Bloodstained. It didn't make my list, but I thought about it as well. It is a great game. It is as close as it gets to Castlevania or to the original Castlevania's games, so yeah.
It's real good. It's so amazing. Highly recommend.
Cool. Good pick. So my number 7 is Tales of Berseria.
Let's go.
Yep. So I'm with Rad. I really like the story, the characters. In particular, I think what I really liked the most about Tales of Berseria is the game starts out really like, happy go lucky. Everything's going great and happy family. And then there's just like one thing at the beginning of the game just like completely flips a 180 on you, and it's incredible, right? So
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
why and like the main character goes from being a very, I don't know what the word is, like,
Naive, maybe.
yeah, naive, family girl to being this, revenge stricken like killer, right? I mean, it is an incredible story. It's up there for one of my favorite Tales of games, and I think it would be a lot higher if it not weren't for the combat. The combat is very mediocre, and the game has a very, very overly complicated equipment system. Um, but
I gotta say, with Berseria, my buddy LT, Lieutenant Nerd, you guys seen him in Discord and probably on Twitter. He posts a lot of stuff. He's playing through Tales of Zestiria right now, and watching him play it, I'm like, I kind of want to go give that another shot because it looks better than I remember it being. Did you did you guys
Yeah.
play it? Did you like it?
Tales of Zestiria.
Zestiria.
Yeah, I beat Zestiria. It's I think a lot of people give it too much hate. I don't think it's a terrible game, but it is my least favorite Tales game.
Okay, that's strong. It's a bold move.
Yeah, yeah. Every Tales game I've played has been better than Zestiria. Zestiria has it's a very generic story and the combat system is awful.
That's probably why I put it down. The combat must suck.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah,
It's
but
very
everything.
Berseria's combat is better
Yeah.
than Zestiria's, I will
Yeah.
say that.
And even if that's the thing, that even if that's what surprises me, if even if Verseria's combat is not great, it is still such a great game overall. Like,
Yeah.
obviously gameplay is one part of of what makes a game. I
Yeah.
don't think the gameplay is like horrible, I don't think it is um like unplayable or anything like that. It's just
Oh yeah.
different from many other Tales games, and I prefer, when I say that I don't like the combat that much, is because I like the combat of other Tales of games better. Not that
Right.
this game's combat is horrible,
Yeah.
but everything else is just top notch.
It'll be interesting to see how they do in Tales of Rise. I kind of hope that they kind of return to their roots a little bit with the combat and the equipment system in particular. I don't know why, but starting in Tales of Zestiria, they felt the need to make things way too complicated for no particular reason at all. And yeah, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it's a good game. I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Definitely. Definitely.
So,
Hopefully we get an update soon. I think there's gonna be a Tales of Festival at some point
ooh,
that they're gonna have like news. But great pick, man.
yeah,
I
thank you.
love that game.
All right, what are we at? Number 6. Nabil, what's your number 6 pick?
Okay, so number 6, this is a game that has a lot of sentimental value for me. And I'll tell you guys why. It's Fallout 4.
Nice.
So let's go back to 2017. Hurricane Maria passed through the island of Puerto Rico and basically destroyed like our entire electrical system. We had no
Yeah.
lights, we had no communications. You couldn't actually communicate with anybody in the United States or anywhere else unless you
Wow.
had an analog telephone, like those old telephones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the only way. So but we do have like electrical generators and stuff, so we could power the house for the food and stuff like that. And sometimes I would play this game because we didn't have any internet, we didn't have no nothing. So sometimes when my family put the electrical generator,
What a
I
game to play when you're in
yeah,
the midst
yeah.
of all that.
I was like, huh, I feel like I'm in the Fallout universe. This is
There's gonna be
like,
something worse than this. Okay.
yeah,
Let's
there's gotta be something worse than this. Where can I find humor in a situation like this? And in the Fallout universe, that's the answer. So I
Mm.
played like 150 to 200 hours of this game, because
Wow.
I would enjoy it. It was the only thing I could play because there was like no online and no nothing.
Sure.
So I really enjoyed it. I know that some people prefer like the Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and even the older Fallout games because this one has a few issues. But I really enjoyed it because of the sentimental value. Like, Fallout has its own unique humor in these situations, and you can just explore. I used to explore. I didn't even pass like the story. I only did the story in the end. I just would explore. I would go and do the side quests, discover every new place. So yeah, it was a lot of fun in
Yeah.
those strange times.
Yeah. I played Fallout 4 for about 20 hours. And it's a good game, but I think the only reason I didn't get into it is because I was one of those guys that put like 300 hours in Skyrim. So now like
Yeah.
every Bethesda RPG feels the same to me.
Yep. Yep.
Even if it has guns and it's in the apocalypse,
Yeah.
it's the same formula. So I was just like, This feels I played way too much Skyrim, and this feels like a little too familiar. So it's a
Yep.
good game though. It's a good
Yeah.
game. So cool, good pick. Rad, what's your number 7?
My number 6.
Or oh, sorry, number
Yeah.
6.
So my number 6, it's a game that the franchise in general means a lot to me. Um, um, it was I really enjoyed the base game a lot, but when I added the DLC to the game, it it added a lot to the base game. So I try to think about this game as a whole between the DLC and the base game. Yeah, it is great for me. It is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice.
Um, um, yeah, it is difficult for me to pick between Kingdom Hearts 3 and 2 as my favorite games on the franchise. But I still don't understand the hate that this game gets. It can be convoluted for someone that starts the series with Kingdom Hearts 3, but that's
Yeah.
why it has a 3 on the on
Yeah.
the game, because it is not the first game. I love everything about it. Like so many tie-ins. The combat, the charm of the Kingdom Hearts universe. Um, um, so many storylines that were resolved in that game. Um, like having so many characters from the Kingdom Hearts universe meeting for the first time after so many games. It was like, if you were a fan of Kingdom Hearts since the first one in 2002, then you were waiting for that moment to finally happen. Like Aqua meeting, I don't know, Ventus, no, not Ventus, but Roxas, or I don't know, and Axel.
Yeah.
The the Days trio meeting the Birth by Leaf trio, right? Or the characters meeting some of these characters, and realizing how important these other characters are to whatever is happening at the moment. So yeah, it was the conclusion to one of the most iconic antagonists on the series. And yeah, I'm really excited to see um, where the series goes after this. Other than the music game, I'm talking about whatever comes after that. So yeah, that's my number 6.
Yeah. Yeah, the combat in Kingdom Hearts 3 is really good. Um, the it felt like the amusement ride attack or whatever it
Hmm.
was a little too OP.
I deactivated. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I didn't I
Yeah. I
Oh,
didn't
did
use
you?
it
deactivated. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
because
the way to do it,
it's
huh?
just too unfair. You get too powerful using the Disney attractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just too powerful. So
It's so OP.
this is the first game that uses um, that mechanic. So yeah, I decided to turn it off because I feel they were not balanced. But it is
Yeah.
cool that they give you the option to to turn it off. It is also anticlimactic because like you're fighting this boss super serious, and then you trigger this
Yeah.
this carousel, or this or this
The
like
boat.
crazy
The boat.
yeah, exactly. So it is very anticlimactic for the boss battles. So I decided, no, this is definitely not for me. So I decided to, but when I turn it off, everything was balanced. So
Yeah. Yeah. Very fluid combat. Definitely the best in the series by
and
far.
and the DLC, I mean, and Nabil also played the DLC. It is some of the most intense boss battles I've ever played, and difficult as well. I
Yeah.
spent days trying to beat the DLC.
Wow.
Yeah, very challenging.
Yep. Gets
Cool.
intense.
You haven't played the DLC yet. Cool.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's my number 6.
good pick. Callie, what is your number 6 pick?
My number 6 is a game that I I think I might play again on the PS5 just because I loved it so much. I started playing on PC, but the game is it's glitchy. It's got some problems on PC, but that game is none other than Near Automata. I
Mm.
absolutely, if you want to see a game that does action RPG right, that has a story that's not like overbearing, but it's also deep. That game, Nier Automata, is so good. Have you guys played Nier Automata? Have you guys played it?
Yes, and I completely forgot about that game, honestly, because I played it on PC.
Oh, it's so good.
So
Yeah.
it didn't. It would have made my list, but I forgot. I can't believe I forgot about that game.
Nier Automata is just like I didn't expect the endings, any of the end. I didn't expect the story to happen the way it did. Nier Automata is the highest ranked action RPG on my list. I will say that it is the highest, and it is one of my top five it is one of my top five action RPGs ever created. It's just that good. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So if you guys are looking for an action RPG you want a good story with just amazing combat and the music, oh my God. Guys, the
Oh
music
yeah,
in that
it's
game.
so
I
good.
bought the soundtrack. I have the physical soundtrack for that game. It is so good. Like Nier Automata is just blows out of the park.
Uh,
I'm excited to play Nier Gestalt or Replicant, whichever one's next year. I bought the collector's edition because, of course, I did. Um, I'm so excited for that game because it looks like they made the combat faster, like Automata. So I'm so hyped, guys. I loved Automata, and if you like action RPGs at all, you have to absolutely have to give this game a shot.
yeah,
It's phenomenal.
all endings. Got to do all the endings too.
Oh, that the ending that hits you in the feels.
Yeah.
Oh, it hits you in the feels so
So
hard.
I can't believe I forgot to put this game on my list. When I was doing my list, I was looking at all the physical PS4 games that I had. So Nier Automata completely slipped my mind. But now that I've thought about it, I think I would probably cut Final Fantasy 15, and I would probably put Nier Automata as my number
There you
7.
go. That's my boy. There he
Yeah,
is.
I can't believe I
Yeah.
forgot that game
Nier
because it's
Automata is
incredible.
so good.
It is good.
It's
I
so
haven't
good.
beaten the game, but I've played I don't know, like 10 hours of the game, and I think it is really good. It almost makes my list as well. But so many games, so many good
PS4 was
games.
a
Just it's
great
hard.
system.
The PlayStation 4 is one of the greatest consoles ever made. There's a reason it is like the second best-selling
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
console
yeah,
of all time.
absolutely
I mean,
incredible.
guys, it's you can't go wrong with any of the games on today's list. If you pick
Sony
up
upped
any of
the.
these
I remember
games,
that E3.
yeah,
I can't remember if it was like 2015 or 2016, and Sony just came swinging with all of these exclusives. Right? I mean, they had revealed God of War, Spider Man, Final Fantasy VII remake was revealed at that E3. It was just like Sony just killed it with exclusives and on the PS4. So
yeah, it's just amazing. You guys could pick any game from today's top 10 list from any of us, and you're gonna have a great time.
oh, absolutely, yep, cool.
Cool.
So my number 6 pick is Dark Souls 3. I loved Dark Souls 3. So Dark Souls 1 really set the bar high, but Dark Souls 3 did take the cake for me. I liked it better than the first Dark Souls. I don't like Dark Souls 2 at all, so we don't talk about Dark Souls
Don't talk about that one.
2. Wait, there was a Dark Souls 2? I thought they just went from 1 to 3.
They don't know
Yeah,
how to count. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
skipped that
guess.
number. Weird.
But yeah,
I
Dark
gotta.
Souls 3.
I like to, but
Yeah.
yeah. Go.
Dark Souls 3 is such a good game. Great boss fights. If it takes like Dark Souls 2 really kind of went in a completely different direction from Dark Souls 1, but Dark Souls 3 really went back to its roots, and the stats and the character progression is very very similar to the first game, which I loved because it felt familiar to me. But yeah, I mean, Dark Souls 3 also had very good DLC if you played those. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Dark Souls 3, excellent game.
Yeah, I
Great
definitely
conclusion to the series.
From Software definitely knew um, what the fans wanted after Dark Souls 2,
Mm-hmm.
because even
Yeah.
though I like Dark Souls 2, it is still probably the weakest of the Souls games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it went back to whatever worked in Dark Souls 1, but in a better, in a more recent um, generation, with better gameplay. It was interesting how they decided to do Dark Souls 3 after something as fast paced as Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think it is like I see Dark Souls 3 as a middle ground between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 in terms of um, the combat.
I'm right there with you, Rad, and you will soon see that reflective on my list. So
Ooh.
that's all I'll say.
Cool, man.
Yep. So Dark Souls 3 is mine. So Nabila, what is your number 5 pick?
Well, number 5, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice.
There we
Let's
go.
go.
Bunch of
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts fanboys
Yeah,
in
bunch of
here.
yeah, such a fanboy. So what else to say? The expectation for a home console Kingdom Hearts sequel was really, really high with the fans. And this game being like the ending of the entire Xehanort saga, as it's called, um, it had it had a lot of hype behind it and a lot of expectation. I agree with Rad that the DLC is what makes this game, maybe in contention versus Kingdom Hearts 2, one of the best games of the series, because the DLC adds so much to like end up those plot holes, to close those plot holes, those alternative secret bosses that you have. They were some of the best fights in the entire Kingdom Hearts series, and you really enjoy it. You really enjoy that DLC content. So I think Rad explained the hype behind this game perfectly. So
So I have a question. If
yeah.
I have a cleared save of Kingdom Hearts 3, can I play the DLC off of my cleared save, or do I have to start the game over to play the DLC?
No,
You
you
guys
you
know?
can play it. Yeah, you can play
Okay,
it
cool.
because they separate it. In the menu they separate the
Oh,
DLC.
Right. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Good to know.
yeah. So you should try it. The DLC really
The,
adds a lot to the
the
main.
DLC spoils the game for you, but you
Yeah,
already
it
beat the
spoils the
game,
game.
so
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3, number 5.
Good stuff. Rad, what's your number 5?
it is funny because we're saying each other's picks
Yeah,
Yeah,
every time, so
bound to happen. I suppose it was bound to happen
it's
to
gonna
some
happen
degree.
eventually. So
Yeah.
yeah.
so my
Great minds think. Great
so
minds think
my
alike.
right. um. So my number 5 is Dark Souls 3 that
Nice.
Mr. Lane just talked
Yeah.
about. Um. Yeah. So my first Souls game was actually Bloodborne, and after playing that and loving that game, as you guys know, I decided, okay, so what's next for me? Because I need to play more of this, whatever this is that it is so addictive, or addicting, I mean. And yeah, I did some research and I decided to play Dark Souls 3 instead of 1 because it was closer to Bloodborne than 1. So I felt like going to Dark Souls 1 was going to be like a big change from what I love, um, from Bloodborne. So I
Mm.
went to Dark Souls 3 and oh boy, I was not disappointed at all. It was different because of course you have the gun and you have a blade with in Bloodborne, and here you have a shield or not a shield. You can have other stuff, but you have to adapt your play style a little bit. I was used to be dodging all the time and
Yeah.
and be quick, and that could work on Dark Souls 3, but not always. So
Yeah.
sometimes you have to hide behind your shield, and What
Yeah.
impressed me is that okay, I thought Bloodborne had a lot of weapons and stuff. When I got this game, I realized it is not even. It is just a fraction of the options that you have in this game. You can
Yeah.
be anything you can imagine. You can be, I don't know, a melee, a warrior, a mage, a cleric, a pyromancer. So many things. And if you decide to go melee, you can be. You can, you know, you can dual wield, you can have a big sword, you can have, shield and sword, you can have daggers, so many things. I mean, it is possible. I think there's people out there that just plays this game and nothing else
Yeah.
because of the replay value you have. um, the graphics were amazing, the boss battles, um, the DLC, the second DLC, the Ring City, is probably my favorite DLC in the Soul series. Very close with the DLC of Bloodborne. Both of them are really good, but the Ring City is just a fascinating DLC that adds a lot to the base game, which was already fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number five, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah. I also prefer Bloodborne, but one thing I did really like about Dark Souls 3 was the variety in your character build, I guess, that you could do.
So many possibilities. Yeah,
Yeah.
the replay value is it's insane. Then you have many quest lines that you can follow during the game, and the thing is that if you're not using a guide in the Souls games, it is really hard to to do all of the quests correctly on your
Right.
first playthrough. That
Yeah.
encourages you to to replay the game and
Yeah.
maybe use a guide this time, or maybe try another thing this time to see what
Yeah.
happens. And
Yeah,
so
because Dark Souls 3 has 3 different endings, I'm pretty sure.
right,
So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Um, I think it has four now that I think about
Oh,
it.
does it have 4?
I think it has four.
Oh, wow.
I think it has four. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's definitely my number five, which is, I mean, I love this game to pieces, and having it at number five says a lot about this list. It is so heartbreaking to. I
Yeah.
mean, high is and five is high. It's not that bad,
Yeah.
but
It's pretty
still.
safe to
Yeah.
say that anything that's made this list is these lists are phenomenal games
Right.
because of
And
how
games
good
that I did,
PS4
yeah,
is.
and
Yeah.
games that are not in the list are amazing as well. So
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. It is.
So,
This is a subjective exercise after all. So
yeah. Okay, Callie, what's your number 5?
5. My number 5 game is the greatest open world game ever made, and the sequel is probably going to surpass it and just be even better. And that game is Horizon Zero Dawn. The story in this game, at the time of its writing, was something I'd never even seen before. And have you guys played it? Have you guys
Oh,
played
yeah.
Zero Dawn?
Oh yeah.
Everybody? Rad, have you played it?
Yeah.
amazing game.
Amazing game. Everybody's played it. So when they actually explained, I'm not going to spoil it, when they explained what Zero Dawn was, I was like, that is genius level writing. I love it. I want to go hug the writers. That's incredible. You guys know me. I love a really good twisty story that you don't expect. And when they showed that, along with the great combat, that was probably some of the best bow gameplay that they've ever made in a game ever, and just fighting
Yep.
those gigantic dinosaur giant robots. And it's like Horizon Zero Dawn to me is a game unlike anything else. Don't you dare insult this hope. Get out of here with your 89 crap. Horizon Zero Dawn is a game of the generation. It is phenomenal,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love it and can't wait for the sequel. I could talk about this game forever, but I gotta say that the one thing they did right that I've never seen any game like this do is just how you could pretty much go do what you wanted to do, but you still had a story that very much mattered. So if I want to go collect cups off the side of a mountain for 6 hours, I can go do that. If I want to
Yeah.
go just to go fight uh, gigantic dinosaurs or go and make my map bigger, I could. The game, it's so good. The story is phenomenal. Um, go pick it up. Go try it out. Highly recommend Horizon Zero Dawn.
It is
Very good
great.
game.
It is a blunder by Guerrilla Games for sure, but it
Yeah, it's
is
those
amazing at the same
lazy
time.
millennial devs over at Guerrilla Games just
Yeah.
couldn't get that over the 90.
Right. Let's see
Yeah.
if
Just
they
couldn't
hit
hit the ball over the fence.
the home run now with the second game.
Yeah, well, you got to realize that was their first open world game. Like they were
Yeah.
Killzone before this, and for their
That's
first open
true.
world,
Yeah,
oh, it was so good, so good.
it's a pretty big step up.
Yeah, oh yeah. So that's my number 5, Horizon Zero Dawn. And the list after this, oh boy, it
Spicy.
gets spicy.
Spicy.
I don't think you guys are gonna predict at least one of these. Let's put it that way.
Interesting. Cool. Good pick. So my number 5 is Dad of War.
Let's go.
Boy.
Yeah. If I wanted your opinion, boy, I would ask for it. Best line in the game.
Best line.
Boy.
Yeah.
Explain,
Uh,
boy. Explain, boy.
Such a good game. I'm with you guys. Like I didn't play this is my first God of War game. I didn't play any of the older games, but just seeing, this, big tough guy, God of War literally, and seeing a more vulnerable side of him being, a father figure, it was really, really good, I thought. And God, like I'm with you guys. Like the camera at first was a little off-putting, but I mean, you get used to it after a while, and
Mhm.
then as you start to play the game and you start to get some new, abilities and stuff, it just gets better and better and better. Um, excellent game. I loved being able to go to all the different like realms. There was just so much variety and so many different colors, going between all the different
Mhm.
areas. It's just such a gorgeous game. And I love the story. I love the ending and, the whole, I won't say it. It's a spoiler. So anyway, just amazing game. I don't know what else to say about it.
The blacksmiths are so hilarious.
Yes, I
Yeah.
loved those. Their banter was
Those-
cracking me up.
I thought,
Especially the
yeah,
blue dwarf. I can't remember his
Brock.
name. Yes,
Yeah.
Brock.
Rock.
He's so good.
Yeah. Amazing dialogue.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it is such a great game.
And same with what's his name? The head. What the hell is his name?
Oh yeah, Midir or something like that. What was it? No, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, Emir.
Yeah.
something like
Mir.
that. Yeah, I
Emir?
forgot the name.
Yeah,
But
and Kratos just calls him Head.
right, exactly.
Head, where do we go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I like so many characters in that game. I like the witch in the forest is really cool.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh, that area. I just stood there and just looked around because that
Right.
is such a gorgeous area. By
the
far the
leaves,
best.
the leaves,
Yeah.
flying around.
Oh,
Reminded me a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really need to replay that game on PS5 to see those areas in 4K 60. Oh my god.
It's gonna
be
look
so
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good. Yeah, definitely one that I need to replay. So that's my number 5. Dad of War.
That boy,
Dad of War.
Yeah, boy.
Boy.
good pick, man.
Okay, we're at number 4. Nabil, what is your number 4 pick?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice.
I think Callie described this perfectly. This game is like nothing else before. I love the perfect balance, the perfect mix, like the formula of having like this wilderness life, people with machines as your
Yeah.
primary, and
Mhm.
like technology versus wilderness.
Yeah.
It's incredible for me. Like you could spend hours just setting traps for those different
Mhm.
monsters and attacking them, hacking them. I used to spend hours like exploring the area, the different of the map, I would say like, okay, okay. So what costume should I put Aloy? So she looks like a badass. Okay, this looks like a badass. I'm going to the snow. Oh, this looks like a badass. I'm going to the desert. It was such fun, uh, exploring, doing like the different challenges if you wanted to, do the different challenges throughout the map. It's a unique experience, and I hope that the sequel gets even better. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The sequel. We'll see.
Def-
Hades,
yeah.
Hades.
Yeah, Hades.
Is that the true Hades though?
That's my
So
number.
many Hades in
The
video
true
games
Hades.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's my number four.
Horizon Forbidden West is probably my most anticipated game on the PS5.
Yeah,
I would say. So,
same here.
excellent pick. Rad, what is your number 4?
Um, so my number 4, um, it's a game that has side by side with East 8. This probably has the best music of any video games in my list, at least. And it is Persona 5. I
Nice.
have not
It's a
played
great choice. So good.
Persona 5 Royal yet. I will because I saw somewhere that they're putting Persona 5 Royal for $20 on Black Friday. I'll try to pick that up.
Ooh.
Um,
Nice.
but still, that game is amazing already. So the base game, I'm pretty sure the Royale is gonna improve a lot upon that game, but um, that game was amazing already.
Yeah.
Great
It was a
turn-based
perfect
combat.
game made better.
Right. I mean, and you add content to it. So what? I'm looking forward to see the the quality improvements and the new content they added and the new characters, of course. But talking about the base game, like the battle system is great. The music is fascinating. It's amazing. It
It
is
is by
so
far my favorite video game soundtrack.
it is so good. The character interactions. So many characters are hilarious. Um, the different palaces. The dungeons. Yeah, no. If 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 there is a game that has no weaknesses, this is the game. It is a game that if you are a JRPG fan, go and play. Probably you should play the Royal version that it is out already, but you can't go wrong here. I mean, the thing is that it is such a long game that I guess it will make more sense to just go into Royal. Um, but
Yeah.
before Royal came, it was already a masterpiece. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
one of my
pick.
favorite games on the PS4 for sure, and that's my number 4, Persona
Excellent.
5.
Excellent
Great
pick.
pick.
All right, Callie, what's your number 4 pick?
So I put a picture in the Discord actually. So I'd really like it if you guys would go look at the image. I want somebody to guess. I'll talk it up a bit. But I put a picture in the images Discord of a necklace from the game. I bought a poster of this I have framed.
Oh,
You know what
I
it
know what
is.
it is.
Okay, all right. I bought a 3D printed necklace from the game. I uh, I have the collector's edition. I have like so much stuff for this game. And yes, that's right, Hope. Death Stranding is so here's the funny part. I was talking about this list with my husband earlier, and I was looking at games on the shelf and looking at the list, and I had the list down, and he's like, "You forgot Death Stranding." I'm like, "What the shit? How did I forget Death Stranding?" Because I didn't have it in there. Like you, Lane, I have all the collector's edition games and stuff like over in a different room of the house, not on the
Yeah.
PS4 shelf. So I'd
Yeah.
completely forgotten about it. I was like, well, bye bye, Ultralight VR. You're off the list. Uh, Death Stranding, guys, this game, I actually liked the gameplay of building the roads and building up the community, and the combat was okay, but it was unlike any other game I'd ever played. And once you actually get to where you could figure out what needs to get delivered and what gets you the most points and what doesn't, and what matters and what doesn't about the game, but the story, God, that story just keeps you going. And when you beat that game, the last like just couple of minutes, like when you find out about those of you that have beaten it, which is no one on this podcast, it
And
is.
well, in my
Oh
defense,
my
I
god.
watched the whole thing on
You
YouTube.
did. You watched
Mhm.
it, but you didn't get attached to the characters probably as much. But
Yeah,
I mean, the ending, Lane, that ending, oh my God.
it's
Like,
good.
the story. Kojima, you are a genius. I
Yeah,
respect the hell out of Kojima. I can't wait to see what else you make next. And if it's as good as Death Stranding, I'm gonna buy it day one. So actually, I bought the game, just the regular like physical edition without nothing special. Actually, like a regular special edition, but not the collectors. And then after I got like 10 hours in the game, I'm like, I have to have this collector's edition now. I have to have this. So I
yeah,
went and found it. Best Buy still had a couple. I picked it up, and the damn BB is like life size. You could put it on like an actual outfit. It's massive. Um, it's the largest collector's edition that I own. It is huge. Actually, I'll take a picture. I'm looking at this. This is. I'll take a picture, put it on Discord. Guys, this game's incredible. You just if if you like a good story and you want something unlike anything else you've ever played, this game you have to play it. You have to.
or watch it.
I think I actually had fun with the game. I actually enjoyed the game.
Yeah,
So
I think I would give Death Stranding an honorable mention, but for me, the fun level of that game is about equivalent to, I don't know, watching water boil or watching
So
paint
I
dry.
think it was exciting to be able to deliver because the people, everyone is relying on you. It's like COVID. It's like COVID. Like you're the DoorDash people. You're going around making sure they get pizza, and you actually have to deliver pizza. And if you tip it over, you have bad ratings because your pizza's ruined. Like you have to have it upright the whole time. And guys, it's so good. I love it so much. It's so good. So I'm done talking about Death Stranding. Go play it. It's amazing.
Very good story. I agree. Really, really crazy. Kojima was on probably some unidentified substances when he was writing that game. Cool. All right. So my number 4 is also Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon.
Fantastic game. Actually, a game I played through not too long ago, a few months ago, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah, I
true.
played it on stream on and off. Um, yeah, fantastic game. I think my favorite thing about the game is the variety in enemies and the strategy you use to take down each enemy, right? Because like some enemies, they have, certain types of canisters, blaze, uh, ice or lightning canisters, whatever. I can't remember the name of them, but and based on your knowledge of that machine is kind of your key to taking it down as quickly and most efficiently as possible. And I really, really love that about the game, especially later on. I love the fact that like early on in the game, you see these freaking massive machines and you're like, I'm going to stay the hell away from this guy. And then by the time you get to the end of the game, you're just freaking destroying them. Like
Mhm.
it was so satisfying. Like when you finally, you're so intimidated by the machine at first. And then when you finally get to a point where you take it down, it's just like, yes,
Those Thunderjaw or
yeah, the
those
Thunder Jaws in
um
particular.
what's the other one? The Stormbirds?
Yes,
Yeah,
those were
Stormburst.
definitely the two hardest to kill. But yeah, like the very first time you killed each of those, it was a really good feeling. So
So satisfying. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, like Callie was saying, I mean the story, like the whole post-apocalyptic setting, and kind of the way that they slowly feed you information and tell you exactly why things are the way they are and what happened to the world that everybody knew before. Great stuff. I'm so excited for the sequel. So yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn number 4 for me.
Let's
All
go.
right, we're in the top 3 now, guys.
The cream
So
of the cream.
The top three.
yep, Nabil, take it away. What's your number 3?
So this is the only game I don't have a physical copy of. I have a digital Um, so my number three is The Witcher 3. I'm sticking with the three.
I
Yeah.
also freaking forgot about The Witcher 3 because I played that on
Yeah.
PC. God, I can't believe I forgot that.
Lane needs like an honorable mention
I can
section
I can I can
to mention
forgive
like
you for
five
Near
games.
Automata, but not for this one, man.
Oh my!
Yeah.
It's
So
Go
what
ahead,
can I
go ahead.
what can I say? Like I think you guys see a trend that I like long games to explore and to just spend hours and hours roaming a map. And if you want a game where you can spend hours and hours and hours
Mm,
roaming a map and you don't even have to touch the main story, you can even play like 20 or 30 hours of Gwent alone, like most people do. Gwent is like a card game inside The Witcher 3.
That's
That
me.
was an interesting. Yeah, that's rad. It's The Witcher, and even the DLC for this game, like the Blood and Wine DLC, is one of the. It's the best content of this game. I love the fantasy setting because you have Geralt of Rivia. If you guys have seen like the Netflix series, for those who don't know what The Witcher
right.
is, that's like the most recent thing that they've made. Um, so this takes place a long time after like where the Netflix series starts and where the books actually take place. The story is amazing. You get like old like 40, 50-year-old Geralt like with that attitude. I'm not gonna talk about the story because it's gonna be a spoilers, but you're really gonna enjoy it, and you're just gonna lose yourself hours and hours exploring with everything, finding all the side quests, all the items. It's a fantastic experience. I think this is probably the best way to make open world games. Like if you're gonna make a huge open world game, make it like this one.
So I'm gonna have to disagree. I do not like The Witcher's combat at all, therefore I shan't play it.
Yeah,
I own it digitally as well. Actually, I've tried all three of the games and I don't care for any of them. So
Yeah.
I and also
First two I don't like at
so
all.
yeah,
Gwent,
Third
I
one's
same.
tried
great.
Gwent and I was like, this is not okay. So okay, let's back way up. I was a Magic the Gathering judge for years. I've played Magic competitively, and I've played a lot of card games at high level, like state level tournaments, and I didn't like Gwent at all. So I I am biased the opposite direction to where like Hearthstone I think is junk. Because
Okay, yeah,
I
that
played
makes
so
sense.
much Magic. I sold out most of my expensive stuff this year just because I don't play in person anymore, and I did a good job because COVID, no one could play in person.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, to my left, I could still see like hundreds of different like commander decks and stuff of all the different Magic stuff I've bought over the years, and um, I I just I think that The Witcher is a great game for people that aren't me because everyone else that's played it that doesn't have my weird taste and weird uh, life experiences doing the things that I've done, they love it because it's a everyman's game. I think that's a good way of putting
Yeah,
it. If you're not a big game liker and you don't know a lot about RPGs, go play The Witcher 3. You will probably love the absolute shit out of it. There's my glowing review of a game I don't like.
I love it, Nabil.
That was
I
hard for me.
actually, I
So,
actually love
yeah.
The Witcher
Yeah.
3.
I can't believe I forgot to put this on my list. I'm so disappointed in myself. I think I would probably I think I would put Witcher 3 above Horizon Zero Dawn. So let's call it my 3.5, huh?
Okay.
Just got to
Yeah,
defend myself there.
we can like mention three random games before we mention like our top pick, just for
Yeah.
the honorable
Right.
mentions. We forgot. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I forgot pretty much everything I didn't actually play on the
I
Yeah.
PS4. So cool. Good pick. Rad. What is your number three?
so my number 3 is a game that I love so much, so much, and I actually did a playthrough of it recently. It's Bloodborne.
Nice.
Bloodborne is my number 3. What can I say about Bloodborne? It's it is just amazing in every aspect. The lore of the game is fascinating. The atmosphere of the game, Jarnam, is it's so horrifying and so welcoming at the same time. It's a weird combination, but it works so well. The combat is um, just perfect, you know. Time the timing to get it right is right there. Um, it never feels unfair if you know what you're doing. Um, the bosses, they all have um, even if they are extremely difficult, some of them, they have openings that you can, you know, take advantage of and beat the game. And I mean, Lane also beat the game recently, so he can talk about it later as well. But it is just a fantastic game. I was obsessed with the lore of Bloodborne for weeks, and I still go back to YouTube Bloodborne lore videos, you know, every now and then, because um, the way that they piece, you know, everything together, it is just so impressive, you know, like even the DLC, um how it ties to the lore of the game. um it's just perfect in every way. The only I guess, if this game had a flaw, which it doesn't, is that it is a technical one, that um you could have some frame drops here and there on certain, you know, areas of the game. But if they patch that on the PS5 eventually, that's as close as a perfect game as you can get, in my opinion. So because everything else is perfect for me, at least, and it is still my number three. So
Yeah, that's
that's
interesting.
all I'm
I
gonna
actually
say.
thought that
Wow.
Bloodborne was going to be your number two pick.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
I'll be
that's
interested to see what your number two
Yeah.
is.
yeah. Bloodborne is my number three and my favorite Souls game by far. And it could be, I could wake up tomorrow and it could be number two. So that's the thing.
Changes depending on the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Cool, good pick. All right, Callie, what's your number three?
My number three is a game that you guys have all played, and we all talked about it. It does not have the best soundtrack lane, but that's okay. It's Persona 5.
Yes, it
Uh,
does. It's
I
so
think
good.
the my number two pick is my favorite soundtrack in all of gaming. I listen to it
Okay.
on Spotify at least once a week anymore. I love it.
Mm,
Persona 5, guys, this game, I I played I loved this game. I loved it so much. I haven't played Royal yet. I'm going to be playing Royal on stream next year on the
nice.
PS5. That game is going to look amazing. And since everybody's already played it, I'm actually going to have viewers. Unlike today, which, like this morning stream, I had Hope. Shout out to Hope for actually chatting with me for a couple hours. It was bare and quiet. Um, but Persona 5, if you would like, yeah, I can't wait to play Royal. I haven't played it, Ray. I'm sorry. I haven't played it yet. I own it. I have the Steelbook version. If you are a new gamer, if you are a gamer and you will say, I would like to play a JRPG, what game, if there's any game you would recommend to play a brand new player for JRPGs that they would love, this is it. This would be
I
the game
agree.
I would recommend is
I agree.
Persona 5. Guys, I know you're not getting Royal for free, but if you get a PS5, the PS Plus collection, next week you will get Persona 5 for free. So I, I recommend
Yeah.
playing Royal at this point, but it Persona 5 is so good. It's
I think what
so
I would
good.
recommend is if somebody's interested, try Persona 5 for free. If you like it, stop playing it and go buy Royal.
Yes, do that. That's a great idea.
It's gonna be hard though.
Do that. Like
That's like taking a candy from a baby.
that's okay. They can afford it. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
If you
it's
like it, do yourself a favor and spend that 100 plus hours that you will invest in this game on the definitive edition.
So this game has amazing art. Its story is great. It's got multiple endings, of which it really just has one ending. The other endings are terrible. Um, and its combat is almost as good as my number two. But it's very good, guys. If you have not played Persona 5, it's you have to just go play it, get into that velvet room, sacrifice a bunch of demons, and make something crazy like Mara. We all know what Mara looks like. So, just go do yourself a favor. If you haven't played this game, just stop watching right now and go play it. Just go do it. So
We
that's
after that we just dropped from 12 years to 9.
12
No, I'm
years
just
to
kidding.
9. Ah, it's so good. That's so good. Okay, yeah, that's my number 3, Persona 5.
Excellent pick. So, my number 3, like Rad, is also Bloodborne.
Let's go.
I just beat that game not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, I think. And I have an interesting history with this game. I bought it, several years ago, 2017 or 2016, somewhere in there. I tried it and I'm like, this sucks. I like having a shield. I like Dark Souls better. So I was like, I put it down. Couldn't beat the first boss because I was terrible. I was so used to playing Dark Souls that playing Bloodborne was like completely backwards from the way that I would play Dark Souls games. So I was terrible at the game. Fast forward a couple years later, I gave the game another try, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually enjoying this a lot more now. I'm getting the hang of it. Made it pretty far, and I think I don't remember exactly why I dropped it. I think something else came out, and I lost interest. But I started playing it again from where I left off not that long ago, and I beat the game, beat all the bosses, beat all the DLC, and I love the game. It really, really grew on me on this, I guess, my third attempt at the game. And thanks to Mr. Rad for giving me lots of pointers and telling me where to find some of the better items. Really appreciated that. Definitely made my experience a lot better. So, yeah, it's such a good, interesting setting. And like Rad was saying, like the lore of the world is so interesting. Like there's so many weird stuff that happens in that game.
What was really interesting to me from your playthrough was your evolution as a player, like
Yeah.
playing through the game. Like on the first episode, you were struggling a lot, and 2 episodes later, you were slaying everything and very confident
Slicing them.
about your parrying abilities, and it was really impressive, man. You got really good
Yeah,
towards the end.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. Is like I think the gameplay kind of was intimidating at first because it's like, man, I feel so exposed. I don't have a shield. A lot of fights you really are kind of reliant on your gun. At least, I mean, that's kind of the better way to do it. I guess I wouldn't say it's necessarily a requirement, but yeah, like once it clicked, I guess there's like a moment where it finally clicked with me, the gameplay loop, and then I loved every minute of it. Like that feeling when you get that parry with the gun and just freaking smash your cleaver into him, it's unreal. I can't even describe how good of a feeling that is. And also, just beating those bosses that you're on your fifth attempt or your 10th attempt trying to beat, and you finally beat it. It's just it's really a feeling that you don't get out of other games. I don't feel like. So definitely looking forward to playing Sekiro. That's and Demon Souls. Demon Souls on Thursday.
Demon,
Yes.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Super
go.
excited to play that game.
Looking forward to see what you think about the bosses and stuff in that game compared to something like Bloodborne or Dark
Yeah.
Souls 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so hyped to play that game. So, yep, that's my number 3, Bloodborne. All
Nice.
right. Nabil, what is your number 2 pick?
The top two big guns. Well, Dragon Quest 11.
Nice.
Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So it's story time. This game was actually a present from Mr. Rad to me.
Nice. That's a good gift.
So Mr. Rad was like, "Huh, Nabil. So there's this franchise. This is my first Dragon Quest game. There's this franchise called Dragon Quest, and there's this game that I consider to be my favorite game at the time. We'll see later on if it's still or if it changes. Foreshadow. But so yeah, you're gonna try this game and you're gonna play it and you're gonna enjoy it. And when you feel that you've ended the game, you're not nearly close to finishing it. And I think Rad was like one trophy away from getting the platinum, and it's because he needs like a random trophy you get at the casinos. And I actually got the platinum on this game. I grinded it. I enjoyed
Nice.
it. I got the casino. I was very lucky. I got a screenshot, a photo of when I won that trophy, and I sent it to Rad. He was like, "I'm so proud, and I hate you."
I tried
But
so hard to get that trophy, man.
yeah, and
I
it's
didn't get
random.
it.
It's completely random. So
Yeah.
That's funny.
Um, it's a great story. You got like the great Dragon Quest Akira Toriyama art style. You got this great, simple yet amazing and story with your main protagonist, the hero, the hero we all enjoy and we play as. And you got like this main villain that stuff happens with the villain. It gets really, really interesting. The combat is great. You get your typical Dragon Quest combat, but it's so amazing. And for being my first Dragon Quest game, it was easy to get used to the style of gameplay, to this turn-based
Mm.
Dragon Quest gameplay. um you grind a lot. It was funny because I was always grinding, so each time I discovered a new area, I would spend like a few hours grinding. So I was really OP at the beginning, but each time you got to a boss, that didn't mean anything because you could get destroyed in an instant, and that was
Oh, and
fascinating
I
to me.
think you were using the draconian settings as well, right? That
Yeah,
makes.
I used the draconian settings to make everything harder. And what else can I say? The worlds on this game, like the art is the same because it's the Akira Toriyama, so the characters look the same. But the fact that for each city they have like a different accent, so the people in a place they talk like with a Spanish accent, and another place in Gondolia they can talk with an Italian accent. In another city they can talk with like an American accent. So the world building is incredible to me. I really love this game. Everybody should play it. So it was a really good gift. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent pick.
Amazing pick, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
actually, the question I have is, what's an American accent sound like? Because
Yeah.
Sounds
you
like
sound
you, Callie.
Yeah.
sounds like me. I sound
Sounds like me.
American.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
okay. All right.
like to me, like an American, like maybe living on the south of America, something like that.
Oh,
Uh,
rednecks.
yeah,
Okay, got it.
Southern.
yeah, like a Southern American accent, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
It's extensive for us.
Yeah, I grew up in the South, so
Demonetize.
Demonetized.
we're not
Yeah,
redneck is not a
yeah.
demonetizable term. Okay, I grew up in Tennessee. I can call other people rednecks. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like East Tennessee.
It's
I'll
not
tell you, they're
so.
not
Yeah.
offended by that
No,
term.
they're not offended at all. So here's a fun story about East Tennesseans. East Tennessee is like I grew up in like the city area, so it's not really the same as you know other people. But like if you went to other parts of Tennessee, they would be like, "Oh, you came from East Tennessee? You guys have shoes over there?" I'm like, "Yes, we have shoes. We have universities. We do everything. You guys." I lived in a city, like a pretty big sized
Yeah.
city that had like more than 500,000 people in it. So it's like, shut up, get.
Go
So
on and
Yeah.
get.
yeah, Dragon
It,
Quest
it, it,
Eleven is it's a good game. It didn't make my list, but it's a good game. Good
Fair
pick,
enough.
yeah.
Nabil. Great pick.
Yeah.
Don't
Good pick.
and don't worry, Kali. It happens to us. People think that we're Indians or
Y-
something like that.
Are
So
you
it happens
serious?
to everybody.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
maybe so. Yeah, there's still some people that can think things
Wow.
like that.
You
So it
guys don't
happens to
have the same
everybody. That's
accent at
common.
all, though. Like you guys have completely
Yeah,
different accent.
yeah.
Okay,
But it's
cool.
let's go.
Okay, Rad. What's your number two?
So, my number two is a game that if I had to go to an island and play only one game in my life, I would pick that game like hands down. Like because I can see myself playing that game in so many ways and explore the game so much and distract myself with so many things in it that yeah, it is a no-brainer. It will be a no-brainer for me because even though it is not my number one, um, it's the one that has the most replay value in my opinion. It is The Witcher 3,
Mm.
but the complete edition
Yeah,
because
complete edition.
you need those DLCs.
You
Like
need the blood and wine.
the Blood and Wine DLC is probably the best DLC ever created in any game, in my opinion.
Wow.
It is it adds so much to the game. Um, that expansion alone is better than many base games. It's like a 40 hours expansion, something like that. Um, it adds so much to the game. Um, there's so much stuff to do. I remember when I got the PlayStation 4 for the first time, I had two games. I had Uncharted 4 and I had this game. I bought this game as well.
Nice.
I tried The Witcher first. I tried it for like 5 hours, and I was like, "Oh, I'm enjoying this game, but this is too overwhelming. There is too much stuff to do here. Like,
Yeah.
where should I go? Like, this is so massive, and so many quests available already. And should I continue the main quest?" And I said that this is too overwhelming for me at the moment. I'll just go play Uncharted 4, which I love, and I played and I beat. But a few weeks later, I was like, okay, so I beat Uncharted 4. Um, Let me get back into Witcher 3 and give it a proper chance, you know. And I didn't play anything else for months. Like I was and I can see like how for example Gwent is not as sophisticated as some of of real card games like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever,
Mhm.
or even Pokemon. But it was so much fun for whatever it is. It was never meant to be, a competitive sport. And they even did
Yeah.
a Gwent game
Yeah.
separated from
Yeah,
which,
exactly. Mhm.
and it didn't work because um, they tried to make it sophisticated. They added a lot of stuff, and then it wasn't a turn off. But whatever they had in the game, as simple as it is, um, it worked great for me. And you can find
Yeah.
so many people that can play Gwent in that game that you could argue that you can spend 100 hours just playing Gwent over
Oh
there.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they add even more tournaments on the DLCs, and you have more decks, more cards, more difficult opponents, and yeah, it's the exploring in the world is the world is massive, and um I don't know, the DLCs were just so good. I just feel, let's put it this way, the base game, The Witcher 3, the base game is great. It is an amazing game, but I feel bad for the people that didn't experience the DLCs.
I
That's
am one of those people, actually.
and you should try it at some point. And the
I
good
need
thing
to
about the
replay it
complete
again.
edition is that um, when you have the DLCs, you can jump right into the DLC. They just give you
Yeah.
Geralt on level 32, and you just
Oh, really?
go
Yeah.
through it,
Oh,
and you just play it.
that's a reason enough for me to
Yeah,
go buy it. Or
the
I
final
kind of
boss.
thought about getting the Switch
Yeah,
version.
the final boss of the DLC is is so good compared to anything else in the
Wow.
in the base game.
In the entire game.
So many quests, so many. Um, it is. There is a reason why many people call this game the game of the generation.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, that yeah, that's my number two.
Excellent pick. Okay, Callie, what is your number two?
My number two is it's not one game. It is the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Saga because you could play all four on PlayStation 4, and you should not play one. You shouldn't play four without playing one, two, and three. And I will be honest, there are parts of four where I'm like, I didn't play the Crossbell games. I don't know who the hell these people are. Not a clue in the world. I don't care about their story. Why are you here? Why are you talking to me? I don't know anything about you. Um, I like Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 probably the best because I think, personally, this is personal opinion, please don't feel offended. Reen is my favorite protagonist in a turn-based RPG since the PS3 generation. I love Reen, his combat style, his ethos, like the fact that he just wants to protect literally everybody. And then in Cold Steel 4, so many people are just like, Reen, we just need to, Reen, go. And you just realize how important he is to literally everybody in that series and just how much that they adored him as an instructor, as a friend, everybody just I I played it a lot today for, but guys, this series, it's approximately 300 to 400 hours of gameplay for those four games. But this is Cold Steel 4 is the ninth game. It's the ninth game in the series. And if I didn't go through the story and Trails in the Sky like Lane made me do, I would not
I
appreciate
didn't
this.
make anybody do
Just
anything.
like Lane highly suggested that I do.
No,
I would
that's
not have
okay.
enjoyed it as much because like the Capuas and everybody else just Estelle is just great. Like the artwork they did for Estelle in Cold Steel 4 is just phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
phenomenal. I Guys, this series, the combat in CS3 was probably the pinnacle of it. But the CS4, they took all the stuff that was broken. They're like, you know what? We saw too many gamers were just breaking the shit out of this game. Cold Steel 4, you can't like have an evasion tank. Like my tank right now, who I have in my party, has like 32 or 33% evasion. That's like the highest I could get them. I'm like, this is stupid. I want my 100% evasion tank. Let's go. Um, God, this game
100% evasion tank would be kind of broken though.
that's how I did CS 1, 2, and 3 though. You have that and you put them out in front and they just counterattack everything and you just win. And you have the rest of your party get buffed and shoot from behind. And that's how you beat the game. It's Cold Steel 3.
That's too
You
easy though.
I play on hard mode and you just break them and take infinite turns and just wipe them out. Well, in Cold Steel 4, you can't do that shit. In fact, I ran into a boss today that's like, you know what? I know you're just in the first like 25% of the game, but we're going to cast the highest level black magic spell against you and it hits your whole party and you can't avoid it and you don't even know we're going to do it and your characters that are at full health instantly dead. Just like it was crazy. Those of you that were watching my stream at the time, you heard how frustrated I got. But I think once I get out of Act 1, which I should be able to do that in the next couple of streams, I think the game's going to pick up a lot. I really do. And I think the
Yeah.
series is going to be a great switch over to Hajimari. And I'm excited for it, guys. If you are looking for a turn based series and you don't mind having to spend like hundreds of hours getting into the lore and everything, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Saga is an amazing series. Games 1 through 9. Go play it. The music is phenomenal. I love the music in Cold Steel. It's so good. The music in the older games also fantastic. Like just just go play these games. You've heard Eric say it, you've heard Lane say it, I said it. Just just go play it. And
Yeah.
in the chat, they asked, "Where's Nick?" Nick couldn't make it tonight. He had a uh, prior commitment, and Inashi also couldn't make it. So we we got our lucky souls got Nabil to join us. Yes, we got Nabil. So yeah, please, 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 please go play the Trails of series. You won't
Yes.
regret it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It seems like we just got to get through the next like 10 hours or so, and then it'll pick up. But man, it's gonna be a long 10 hours.
At least you get to go to Michelin. You get to go there, and that's it. Yep,
That's cool.
you finally get to go there. I was so excited. I was so hyped on stream. So hyped.
Cool. Good pick. So my number two, like Nabil, is also Dragon Quest XI. Love that game. To me, it's like take everything you love about retro JRPGs and put a modern coat of paint on it. That's Dragon Quest XI for me. Incredible game, incredible battle system, incredible characters, incredible story. I don't know what else to say. It's an amazing JRPG.
And it is as classic as you can get in the modern
Exactly.
world. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I love that they. One thing I've loved about uh, Dragon Quest is they stay true to their roots, right? I mean, they don't really go off the beaten path. They don't experiment.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. They stay very true to their formula, and it's what people like
Right.
with Dragon Quest. And
When they release Dragon Quest 12 in 2025, you know what you'll get.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're getting into when you get into a Dragon Quest game, and you know it's definitely not a risky investment, so to speak, as long as you're a fan of the series. So, but but with that said, I also feel like I think I agree with Callie. I think Persona 5 is probably what I would recommend to a beginner, but Dragon Quest 11 I think would probably be a very close second. I think
Yeah.
it's fairly beginner friendly. It's not it's probably what it's well yeah, it's definitely on the easier side in terms of previous Dragon Quest games. Still solid challenge to be had. And
Yeah.
I don't know about the PS4 version, but the Switch version has a lot of like uh, different things that you can do to make the game a lot more difficult. So, um, yeah, fantastic game.
Exactly. Yeah, it has. Yeah. For example, like like the draconian settings when you can make the bosses
Yes,
harder.
yes, that's it. Yep. So, yeah, I still play Dragon Quest 11 every now and again on my Switch, just to continue to replay that game, just because it's so good. Um, yeah, that's my number two.
Amazing. Amazing pick. Yeah.
So, the moment of truth.
Amazing choice.
The number one picks. Nabil, what is the best game on the PS4?
I think you guys will agree with me. It's Bloodborne.
solid choice.
Yeah. Another game that Mr. Rad gifted to me. He actually gifted it to me my top two games. That's interesting. He has a
Nice.
good taste.
I don't give
So Bloodborne.
I don't give like hot trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no hot trash. So Bloodborne, what can I say? The Victorian setting, the weapons you use, the fight, but the style to fight is so different because you're on the offensive side, not on the defensive side. So I really enjoyed this type of gameplay much more. It feels like a Soulsborne game on the next generation, like on the PlayStation 4. That's what it feels
Right.
like to me. Um, I really enjoy the lore behind the game. Like you can like Brad, you can spend hours researching like every small detail, like what this character said to you. It has to do with something another character said to you. This stone has something written about this weapon. Uh, it's the best game for me. And like you and the another thing, you can pass the entire game. You know, you can finish it. You can play the DLC. You can start playing it again, and you're gonna die again because that's the type of game. The combat in this game, you never truly master it. Like you can be pretty comfortable with it, but you're never truly a master. You can always die, and to me, I enjoy that, like that aspect of the game. So
Yeah,
that's my number one classic game,
Yeah,
excellent,
immortalized.
even if you
excellent
are
pick.
a great player, if you get cocky, you're gonna die.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like as soon as I beat Bloodborne, I hopped right into the DLC. You know, beat Cleric Beast, beat Father Gascoigne, beat Bloodstarved Beast, and then went into Vicar way, way, way too cocky. Just just be like, oh, I already beat this game, new game plus,
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, I totally agree with you. You're
So
never
I
going to
think
get to a point
I
where you can't you still need to always be on your toes.
I think Nabil said something that actually made me want to play
Yeah.
Bloodborne. He said that you're on the offensive, and that's a big deal to me because I can't just stand there and do nothing forever. Uh,
Yeah,
that phrase that you just said makes me
yep,
interested in trying it now.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
But it is a
Awesome.
need. It is a
The
need.
game actually awards you to go for the offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a very interesting thing because yeah, if you, I mean, you still got to be smart. You got to dodge. You got to parry. But like, if you are
Yeah.
getting some solid hits in, the game does reward you. Like bosses will stagger or other things like that. So yeah, it,
When I have
excellent game.
confirmed that it has 60 frames per second on PS5, I'll give it a shot. So
Nice.
I'll stream it, and you guys can laugh at me. So
Yes, entertainment.
Let's go. Great pick, man.
Yeah, excellent pick. Okay, Rad, what's your number one pick?
Thank you.
So before I say my number one, I want to mention some games that I wanted to include on my list without going into
Sure.
detail, just
Right.
to games that almost made my top 10. Almost just some of them made my top 10, and then 2 days later they were removed from my top 10. So that's how difficult it was for me. Um, a game I beat this year, The Last of Us Part 2. That game is amazing. But I mean, being the RPG gamer, the RPG gamer that I am, some of these RPGs had to be on my top 10. But that game is a masterpiece in my eyes. Horizon Zero Dawn, of course, that you guys mentioned. I love it. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Sekiro. Sekiro is a game that, yeah, it's amazing as well. Uncharted 4 is a game that I love as well. Um, Callie mentioned Nier Automata, another game that I wanted to put on the list. Another game that I actually played on the PS3, not in the PS4, but I really love is Nino Kuni. So those games almost make my top 10. So my number one should not be a surprise to anyone. It is a game that you guys mentioned already. It is Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Um, yeah, that's perfection in my eyes for a JRPG. Um, classic turn-based combat, great story, great characters, um, great soundtrack, so colorful. The world is um, perfect for me. Um, you can play the game in the pace that you want. Do you want to grind forever? You can do that. Do you want to do side quests? You can do them. Do you want to aim for the main story and finish the game um, many hours? Then you should go for it. You can do it as well. Um, do you want? Do you want? Do you not want to spend 100 hours into the game and just get a decent ending, but not a true ending? You can do that and finish the game in Act Two and see the credits and go home. Um, or you could play the game completely and have one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. So um, I'm really looking forward to. So I've played the base version, the one that Nabil has. Um, I was gonna get the Switch version to replay that just because, but since we're getting that version on the PS4 as well and the Xbox Series X, I think. or the Xbox One X, one of them. I think it is in Game Pass. It will be in Game Pass as well.
Yep.
I'll replay that. I'll definitely replay that. So I'm gonna replay that game 2 more times eventually. Not now, but I want to play the 2D mode.
Mm.
Yep.
The retro style mode. I'm desperately want to play that. I've been waiting a while to do that. And I want to try the game again just because I love the game so much, and I want to see if there is any improve in the quality of life of the game compared to the base game, which I think Lane already mentioned that it is the case. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, it is just it is my favorite PS4 game, and it is probably my favorite game of all time
Yeah.
so far.
I
So
think I would definitely recommend anybody who's not played Dragon Quest XI to definitely play the definitive edition. They add so much stuff in there, on not just the 2D mode, but I mean, there's actually extra story.
Yeah.
There's extra side quests. It's great.
I mean, it is so surprising to me how such a blunder by the developers on Square Enix got my attention
Yeah.
so badly, and I love it so much. It is it screams JRPG
Mm.
Oh
when you're
yeah.
playing that game.
It
It's
does.
just
Absolutely.
as classic as it can get with a modern style.
How
Yeah.
can
So
something look so classic and so modern at the same
right,
time, right?
yeah, it's like the game looks like a 2018 game, but it plays like a 1989 game in a good sense,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a good sense. So
Yeah. It takes everything that you like about retro RPGs and adds quality of life stuff like no random encounters and that kind of stuff. But yeah.
right,
Yeah.
very challenging as well because the first two acts are okay in terms of difficulty, are balanced. I guess that's the good word, the good word. But the post game, which is actually more story, so it will be
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
it is unforgiving. Like
Yeah.
you have to grind
You
because you can.
have to
You
grind
have
the
to
post
grind.
game.
So I played with the draconian settings on because for the strong monsters because I had when I started playing the game I was worried that it would be too easy, and it is not that I like a challenge, but if it is too easy that I'm just pressing attack and beating everything, it will be a turn off for me. So because of that, it was hard all the way. And the post game, oh my god, I had to grind until level 99
Yep.
in order to beat some bosses. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, that's my number one.
Good
To
pick.
to no surprise, Dragon
Yeah.
Quest 11.
Called it. And I know what Callie's number one is too. Take it away, Callie.
I
I
did
think
not.
everybody knows what Callie's is.
Yeah, y'all know.
Yeah.
I actually didn't like the first 3 hours of this game when I streamed it. Like, if you guys watched me, I complained quite a bit about the first 3 hours. And after you get out of the tutorial and you get to the actual game, and you get to actually go through the stuff how you want to, and you're not just forced into this, who the shit are all these people, and why do I care about them? And now all I have to say is that Hijiyama and Okino for life. I mean, Hope gets it. Guys, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is quite possibly, of any media format I have ever read or watched in my entire life, and will probably ever read or watch and play through in my entire existence, it is the best storytelling I have ever seen. I I I don't even know how to explain it more than that. There were twists and turns upon twists and turns that no matter how hard I could have tried to figure this out, like I legit do not know of any writer that has made this many twists and turns in one singular story that I just did not see coming at all. At all. That it's just, and that combat was so unique. Like, there's no games like it. Luckily, if I ever want to go play it again, there's 9,999 levels that I can go and play. It's just, if you guys like story that you don't expect things to happen and you think you know what's going on, you're like, I got this. I know what's going to happen. 2 hours later, well, that's not it. This is it now. And then 2 hours, like 30 minutes later, what's this? Like, there's so many things you think that you have figured the game out. You think you know what's going on. You think you know what's going to happen, and you don't. Like, even after the credits roll, there's still twists and turns that happen. I'm like, this is ridiculous, writers. How? So if you have not played 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, you can platinum it in 40 hours in one playthrough on easy if you want to. You don't have to play on hard like I did. Okay, you owe it to yourself to play this incredible, amazing masterpiece that I I don't even know what else to say. You guys, you have to play this game. If you could ignore every other game on the list I gave you, if you play this game, you will be happy. That's all I have to say. Oh, ignore every other game I talked about. Just go play 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. It's it's a masterpiece.
I like Vanillaware a lot, so at some point I have to try it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the first games I'll play on PS5 for sure.
I have to say,
yeah.
it was amazing because Hope was behind me. And like when he would get to story parts, he would message me. He's like, Callie, I can't believe this shit happened. And I had to stop and think. I'm like, wait a minute. How many things they change about this thing before I would actually respond? Because I was like, wait, can I actually respond to this? Because is this legit? I don't remember. It was sometimes I was like, I can't respond to this because I can't tell you like that I'm excited or not because it's guys, this game, it's just so good. It's so good. Just go play it. Go play it.
Cool, good pick. So my number one is Persona 5 Royal. Oh, guys. You guys know that Legend of Dragoon is my favorite game ever, mainly for nostalgia. Persona 5 Royal, number two. Number two. I love this game. So, you know how I was bitching and moaning about 100-hour games? This game is the exception. This game was actually my first platinum trophy. Never platinumed a game, and the platinum on this game is actually pretty easy. Mostly just play the game normally, and make sure you put saves after about every palace. That way, if you do miss something, you can go back and get it in a pretty relatively short amount of time. But yeah, this game was so good. I think what I liked the most about Persona 5 and even Persona 4 too is, for me, the whole day-to-day routine. You go to school, you hang out with your friends. After school, you hang out with your friends again, or you go into the palace or whatever. That day-to-day experience for me was like next level immersion, right? It's like I really felt like I was Joker, and these people that you're going to the palace with, these are my friends. These are my like real friends, right? Because you get to know them so well over 100 plus hours in the game. It's just like crazy how immersive the game is. And I mean, the Royal Edition, if you get the true ending of the game, incredible, absolutely incredible. Highly recommend you guys.
So
If
Lane,
you've
I have
only
a
played,
question.
yeah,
So no spoilers. I'm just gonna say, after the true boss of Persona 5, how much gameplay is there left after that?
about 20 hours.
Are you shitting me? I
Nope.
played, it was like 110 hours, so that's a 130-hour game. That's
The,
insane.
there's about 20 hours of content after
Wow.
OG vanilla Persona
Well, we're gonna
5.
be streaming that on next year, guys. So
Yeah,
I look forward to dying repeatedly with you guys. I mean,
yeah,
not dying. I'm good at turn-based games. We're gonna
yeah,
we're gonna steamroll through it because it's amazing, incredible. I can't wait to see the story again.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna stream it as well at some point. Probably like in December or something. But just the dungeons. I'll just stream the dungeons because everything in between is just a lot of talking, right?
yeah. I tried
So,
streaming it when I started to do New Game Plus, and I was like, wow, I feel bad for everyone who's watching this because this is nothing but dialogue.
right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But the dungeons is they are amazing
Oh
for
yeah,
streaming, yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And I already know the requirements for the good ending because I will hate myself if I play that game and I don't get the good ending
Oh
after.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's if you guys want to play this game and get the true ending spoiler free, reach out to me. I'll send you a link to a page that has a spoiler free walkthrough because you do need to follow it if you want to get the true ending. There's a few. It's mainly just social links. A few social links
Hmm.
you need to pay close attention to,
Right.
and you'll get the true ending. So it's not very difficult to get, but you do have to be paying attention. So um, yeah,
But I do think that if you're playing the game for the second time, it is only natural that you're gonna max those social links because
oh
you
yeah.
want to know about those characters. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you learn about what schedules, what days of the week you can
hmm
advance their social links and how to best optimize your time. That's another thing I really liked about this game is like the total time management and like you can't just, you know, get home from school and go to sleep, right? Like you really need to pay attention and make sure you do certain things on certain days of the week. Make sure you're still, going into the palace and you're getting to a certain point and able to beat it within a certain time period of days. Make sure, it's very rare case you'll fail it, but you put that save right at the beginning, right? Just in case,
yeah,
just in
yeah.
case. But
Just in case.
yeah, such a good game. I love Persona to death. So that, in my opinion, is the best game on the PS4.
So you guys put some amazing picks out there. I think we should talk about what we're playing this week and wrap it up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that sounds
Let's
good.
do it.
Go ahead, Callie. What are you
Go
playing?
ahead. Yeah.
Well, I played Hades. Like pretty much everybody now is playing Hades. Hades is a phenomenal game. If you like Diablo style games that are much faster and very colorful, and yeah, it's my favorite roguelite. It's very fun. I love Hades a lot. I'll be playing it pretty much a lot. So feel free to look at my stream and you'll see that. Also playing through The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold, Wait Forever to Get Back, The Ashen Awakener 4. That is what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Cold Steel 4. I think that I'm about 2 to 3 hours away from the end of part one, which my original prediction was 30 hours. I'm gonna be at like 29 hours, so it's a pretty good, close prediction. Guys, the game starts off slow as molasses. They give you this stuff that just doesn't mean a damn thing. You're like, why is this not just a cutscene? Why do I have to go do this shit that doesn't matter at all? Like, we get it. We get it. The thing is happening. The thing is happening. We understand. Yep. Literally every NPC you're talking to, wow, this thing, I'm telling you, it's like
Yep.
COVID right now. That's what it reminded me of. It's like America 2020. No one talks about anything except for the election and COVID, and that's it. And they're talking about the one topic, Lane, you understand. In Cold Steel 4, they're talking about that one topic nonstop. They're like, yeah, boy, this thing sure does suck, doesn't it? Yep, sure does suck. I really
Yep.
wish this thing would just not be a thing. And it's like, oh my God, are we done with this yet? I get it. But then I'm like, wait a minute. All we do is talk about COVID every day, so it's no different. So it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just RPG 2020, Cold Steel 4, let's go. The sad thing is that they predicted it in like when they released it in Japan, whatever, a year or so ago. So thanks, Japan. You predicted COVID. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
It's
all your
not.
fault.
It's all your fault. No. The game, guys, the combat's still good. It's harder. Like I'm actually running to bosses on hard mode now, where I'm like, this is actually a challenge. I appreciate that 'cause I steamrolled through the rest of them, but this one's actually I'm actually like, wow, I actually have to pay attention here. Okay. That's the only two games I'm playing. But next week is PlayStation 5 and Xbox week. I'll be playing Godfall. I will be playing Bugsnax and Sackboy and Spider-Man and probably Falconeer if I remember to pre-order it. I'm gonna have so many videos and live streams and shit. You guys are gonna get tired of looking at my stuff. You're gonna get
Are,
tired of it.
are you planning to transfer your progress on Cold Steel to
Uh,
the
if it
to the?
lets me, I will
Mhm.
move it to the PS5. If it does not let me, then that PS4 is gonna stay hooked up.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I like the game, but once the PlayStation 5 comes out, I will probably spend a day playing it a week, not like 4 days. I want to get through
Yeah.
it eventually, but Godfall, Godfall.
Yeah. Typically, when
Yeah,
I wake up in the
yeah,
morning
yeah, yeah.
before I start work, I usually will play a game while I'm drinking my coffee. That'll probably be Cold Steel 4 for me. But in the evening, I plan on
Yeah.
going hard on PS5.
Yeah, so LT and I, once we get a little farther in the game, we plan on hopefully doing some co-op streaming on Saturday mornings because he's in Italy and he's asleep right now because it's like 3 in the morning there. But we're gonna try to do some co-op streams on Godfall because he's also picking it up. So
Ooh.
if you're a fan of LT or me, feel free to stop by. We'd love to have you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I might. Being that Godfall's made by Gearbox, I'm who, if you don't know, is the developers who did Borderlands. I'm definitely interested in Godfall, but I think I'll wait and hear Callie's impression and some other
Yeah,
people's impressions before I pick it up.
Callie buys games so you don't have to. Callie
That's
plays
right.
hot trash so you don't have to. Let Callie
Yep.
spend her money on trash that you don't have to buy. But
Callie's our
yeah, the rest.
designated reviewer.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one though. Like at first I was like, this is gonna suck, but then I'm like, oh, they're making it. Ooh, ooh, okay, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop rambling. Thanks,
So
appreciate.
I'll go next because I'm playing the exact same games as Callie right now. Cold Steel 4 and Hades. I'm with Callie. Cold Steel 4 is freaking boring right now. Like, I can't believe a series finale, and after the cliffhanger ending of Cold Steel 3, it is that the pacing level is like this low, right? It's just like,
Lane, I gotta
you
say
got to
that
be kidding me.
I laughed so hard today when they were literally at the theme park. They were at Michelin, and they're like, "Boy, I can't. I'm sure Rain's fine." Like somebody said, "Rain's fine." I'm like, "Are you shitting me right now?" I was like, "This, I'm done. I'm done with this." So I was like, "Yeah, it's Lane. You get it. You get it. You get it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You understand."
Epic face palm. Yeah. So slowly making it through Cold Steel. I was ahead of Callie for a while, but she passed me today. So I'm at like the 20-21 hour mark, I think. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
26.
Okay. So yeah, the other
I,
game I've been playing.
so
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say something. I think the game is gonna get better for you guys.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I
I,
fully expect it to get better. It's just like, wow, this
I
is
know
30
that,
hours that could not have been that could have
right.
completely been removed.
I There's no way. I mean, I obviously we joke about Metacritic and
Yeah. Yeah.
scores.
Yeah.
Um, but if you look at the user score, it's a 9.0 in that game. So there's no way that game is boring all the way and get that score.
Sure there is. There's a lot of people with incorrect opinions.
It could be. It
But
could be.
Yeah.
I
True.
expect it to get
True.
better. But I just,
Yeah.
oh God, just this beginning.
I have yet to be disappointed by a Trails game. It's always boring at the beginning. That's just a
Have
thing.
have you
It
guys
feels like the
ever?
last two games have been worse than other games, but
Yeah.
there's never. I know I'm still gonna love this game, by the time I finish it.
Have you
So
guys
I will
ever
keep
been
playing it.
in a meeting at your job that should have been an email? Have you ever been in one of those?
Oh
A
yeah,
meeting that should have been an email? That is the first 30 hours of Cold Steel 4. It's a meeting that should have been a cutscene.
yep,
That's it. It should have. That's it. That's the best way to describe it.
yeah. That's a good way to put it, actually. Yep, yep. So on the other side, I played Hades pretty much all day today. No shame. Could not put the controller down. That game is incredibly addicting because you get so close to beating it, and then Hades is like, "Ah, you suck," and then you're like, "No, I'm gonna show you." So it's like every time you get beat, it's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it this time. I'm just totally gonna get it this time," and then you don't, and then you try again, and then you don't, and then finally towards the end of the day I finally beat it.
So now all three of us have beaten it, right?
Yeah,
All three of
well, yeah,
us?
yep.
Rad and Nabil, have you played it?
No, I need to play it. You guys have piqued my
It's
interest on
It's
the game, so
so
yeah,
good.
so
yeah,
freaking good.
It's amazing. It's just go play it. Just go
yeah.
play it.
It is absolutely going to be one of my games of the year. I love this game, and I even though I beat it, like you can keep playing it. There's still more
Oh yeah.
content,
Mm-hmm.
so
It's a
I'm
good
gonna
game to
just keep
stream
playing
because
it.
it never ends. It's a great state streaming game.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It is so good. There's I think both Rad and Callie said it last time, but the variety. Every time you go in there, it's an entirely different experience. And like I think Rad even said this last week. Every time you think you've seen everything, you're wrong. There's more to see. There's more dialogue.
Yeah, not
There's a
just
new
dialogue.
character.
I ran into a new
that you s-
boss my last playthrough, like a boss I haven't seen before. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. It's just like you will never go in there and have the same experience. It's
Awesome.
yeah, it's
That's
so
great.
good. And even after you beat the game, like I went in and did another one. It's like there's other more new stuff, and it's just like how can they keep topping this? I've already beaten the game, and you're still giving me more variety. It's just it's a masterpiece in my opinion.
Have you guys tried all of Max Sisters?
Yes.
I've only fought one of them.
There's more. There's more.
Okay,
But
so
Yeah.
that was the boss I hadn't seen before.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
since you beat the game so quickly, Gali, I think you gotta beat the game again until you get the other one
Well,
because
you see, I think I beat it in like 6 deaths, and you
Mhm.
guys were like, what?
Yeah.
I almost
Because a
beat it
lot
in
of the
5
dialogue,
deaths.
a lot of the progression is a counter, right? Like you need to have done this boss X amount of times. You need to have talked to this character X amount of times, and that's what progresses it. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, because I beat the game so fast, I didn't see those other things.
yeah,
Because I
because Callie is
literally.
like super ultra good at the
So I
game and
gotta
beat
in
tell
it
my
you
in like
guys.
case,
6 tries.
since I struggle so much, but I was struggling, but I was beating Meg all the time, right?
Right.
So that was Hate is obviously, he realizes that Meg is not good enough to stop you, so he tries different things, and that's when
Yeah.
you actually have to fight other people in that
Yep.
stage.
So
Yep.
Lane actually gave me a challenge on my stream this week. He spent 2,500 Cali bucks and said you could only use cast as a weapon. And I was like, that's stupid. So I was like, okay, well, I'm at least dashing because screw you. But I got like almost to the Hydra boss by just using cast, no regular attack or special. I think Lane was even impressed a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm good at this game. It's like my thing.
Yeah, I love the game, and I love there's just so much to like. I feel like this game is kind of a completionist dream because you can max out all your weapons, you can max out all
Right.
of your like your what do they call them? The character gifts. I forget
So
what the name
so
of them
what's
are.
everybody's favorite weapon? I don't know between shield and gun yet. I really like the gun.
Shield for
I
me.
have to
I love
go
the
with the
shield.
one I used to beat the game, the sword. I still like the sword.
Have you
I
tried the
tried
I
the
like
gun?
the
gun. I
special.
didn't like it.
I
I
like the
didn't like the
special.
gun.
I mean, I remapped the
Well,
bottoms.
yeah.
I put the I put the special on on the Y instead of the X on the Switch control, and I was dashing and doing the special like crazy, and that's what got me
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
through the
because
whole road.
I
Yeah,
remapped the buttons between every single weapon type. Like I have completely different buttons set up depending on what
yeah,
weapon I'm playing as.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I
And
don't like the attack for the sword, but I like the special a lot.
yeah, it's kind of interesting because depending on how you're kind of building your character throughout a run through it, sometimes you'll find out it's better to use attack after dash, or it's better to use your special after
Hmm.
dash. So every time, like even when you're using the same weapon, like your kind of go-to combo, so to speak, is going to change based on how what boons you're getting throughout that particular run that you're doing.
Right.
I'm so impressed with this game. It is incredibly fun. I intend to just keep playing it over and over and over again.
I can go next and say what I'm playing.
Yeah, go for it, Rad. Sorry, I keep
So
praising Hades to death.
keeping in the same staying in the same page. I've also played Hades, of course. You guys mentioned everything about it. I'll just say that it is definitely a top five for my games of the year this in 2020. Um, Maybe even higher. I have to think about it. There's some games that are really good, but um, yeah, fantastic game. If you haven't played that game, go and play it. It is not expensive, so that's another thing that it is really attractive about the game.
Right.
Um, so I've also been playing God of War on my stream. Boy, as I mentioned already, I'm probably halfway through the game already. Pretty much, I think. I'm loving the game. It already made my top 10 PS4 games, so there's not much to add to that. Fantastic experience. And another game I'm trying this week is a game I picked up last week. I've been playing. So I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but I've never tried Digimon, so I decided to give it a try as my side game to Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think um, if you like Pokemon, you like Digimon as well. And I'm not saying they're similar, but they have many things in common, including monsters, of course. But um, it is more story based than the Pokemon games. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I put like 6 hours to the game already, and yeah, if you're looking for a game to where you can catch monsters and stuff, but you're tired of Pokemon already, just you can give it a chance. I got the complete edition, which includes both Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Digimon Hacker's Memory, which are two different games that um, go through the same routes from different perspectives.
Hmm.
So yeah, they
This is
happen in
for
the
the
same time.
Switch, Rad.
I guess the best way to say it is that they happen in the same timeline, but from different perspectives. Um,
Interesting.
and I got it for 30.
So is it
So
like Crossbell and the Erebonia arc where they happen at the same time? But
I guess I haven't played that. I haven't
oh,
played
that's true.
the
You haven't played those.
yeah,
Okay.
but I guess I will say something like Onion Sphere, where some of the characters overlap whatever one is doing. I mean, they were
Hmm.
doing stuff at the same time, so it happens a lot in the Shin Megami Tensei games as well. Like for example, Shin Megami Tensei 4 and not Apocalypse. So like how Apocalypse tackles one of the Shin Megami Tensei 4 endings, and they show you another perspective, something like that. But yeah, those are the three games I've been playing this week.
Is that on the Switch, Rad?
That's
Digimon?
the version I got.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
the complete edition. It is on Switch. It is on PC, or you can get each game individually on the PS4.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
What do you have, Nabil? Take us home.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is gonna be a quick one. So I haven't really had a lot of time to play these past 2 weeks. Like college and work has been really, really hectic. but I'm finished. I've played a little bit of Tales of Vesperia, so I'm still working on
Nice.
that. And I played a little bit of Hollow Knight the other day because
Oh,
that's
nice.
one of the games.
Oh, I
Yeah,
need to download that. Yeah.
that's one of the free games this month for the PS Plus. So I played like a half an hour of it, the little
Mhm.
time that I had free. But you guys had piqued my interest with Hades, so when I ever have the time, I'm surely gonna try it.
Oh
Seems
yeah,
fun.
it's a must play in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's basically it.
Cool, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, what do you think, guys? Do we have time for questions, or do you think we've exhausted ourselves for this evening?
Well, I would just like everybody to say what they're most excited. Okay, but we're gonna take Demon Souls off the list because I don't want to hear it from all three of you guys.
Demon Souls.
Demon
No,
Souls.
no, no. Besides Demon Souls, what is your favorite? I'll take Godfall off of my list. What is your second most anticipated game next week that's coming out?
Bug snacks.
I don't have one because I'm only getting Demon
Ah,
Souls.
I forgot. You know what?
uh,
Bug Snacks has got to be it, doesn't
Bug
it?
snacks. Yeah, there's no debate.
I think I'll wait until people play this, but I might be interested in in Valhalla, but I'll see. I'll see first.
True.
I'll go with caution.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess I would say that maybe I will. I'm somewhat interested in Godfall if it ends up being good, but I'm not going to buy it day one.
That's cool, guys. I gotta say, I did my unboxing impressions video on the DualSense controller. It's a chunky boy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. I was actually surprised how much it weighed compared to the other ones. It's uh it's I don't think I'm gonna like it as much as the PS4 controller because that PS4 controller and we're good friends. Like I love my
I,
PS4
I'm.
controller.
I mean, at the PS5 console itself, it's pretty big, so I think it goes.
Yeah, it's a chunky
You know,
boy.
the
It's
partnership goes aligned. Yeah.
like I don't know if you guys saw the printy that I posted on Discord, but that printy also a chunky boy fits right in with that
Yeah.
chunky PS5. So
Chunky console.
Rad, you're getting a PS5. I'm getting a PS5. Lane, you're getting one. Nabil, are you gonna get one?
I'm not getting one like on release date, probably eventually. But yeah, that's
Is
the thing.
is anybody
I,
gonna get an Xbox?
No.
I want one
no,
eventually,
yeah, eventually
but
maybe,
it doesn't
but
make
not
sense to get
now.
one right now since there's nothing to play on it.
Well, I don't
Yeah, they
know.
left
Yeah.
Ori,
literally no exclusives
there is the
in 2020.
Falconeer. The Falconeer is the only game I'm interested in
I don't
for
even know
this
what
year.
that is.
I don't even know what the game
The
is.
Falconeer, it's like Panzer Dragoon, but you're on a falcon
Oh,
instead of
gotcha, gotcha.
yeah. I'm excited for that. But
I was
actually,
actually excited about the Medium, but it got delayed today.
it did get delayed.
Huh.
But they're gonna have Ori and the Will of the Wisps at 6K downscaled to 4K 60 FPS. That's gonna be pretty. That game, I can't wait to play through it on hard mode on stream again. You guys can watch me die a shit ton of times.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, shall we wrap it up for today?
Let's do it. Thank you so
Sure.
much, guys.
Yeah. So Lane, do your socials.
The Laninator on YouTube and T Laninator on Twitter.
So I'm Rat Console Gaming on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and I'm Console Rat on Twitter. Go up, Cali. Go up.
I am Cali Chronicles. You can find me there on YouTube and Twitch. You can find me at Cali_Zath, Calizath on Twitter. Nabil.
Hi, I'm Nabil. I love you guys.
Find me on Discord, yo.
You can find me on Discord.
You
Yeah,
can find
and
me
on
as
Twitter.
Yeah,
Nabil El
Discord.
Mondachinas on
And
Discord.
Mondachinas on Discord.
So when I first saw I'll be 100% honest, Nabil. When I first saw the icon on Discord for you, I'm like, who the shit is this guy?
Who's
It's
this crazy?
John Cena.
It's John Cena.
I was like, I know who John Cena is, and I was like, why? The
Who's this
face,
crazy?
the
Who's this crazy
face.
guy?
Like, what is this? I was like, this guy, he's gonna like spam furry crap on our Discord. That was somebody
Yeah.
else, though.
You went from not getting a rank to being twice on our podcast already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
From
I
being
gotta
almost
say,
banned to being the.
I was literally confused. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Who has what is this? And
Yeah.
now I know. I'm like, yeah, it's Nabil. He's good shit. So, yeah, if you want to join our Discord, please do so. It's posted all over the place. I post it like weekly on Twitter. We've been getting people joining. We're up to like what, almost 40? Is that right? We're up to almost 40 members.
Something like that.
Close, yeah, close.
We're close to 40 members, guys. My goal is let's get 50 by the end of this year. That's what I'd like to see. 50
Easy.
members, easy
Easy.
life, easy
Easy.
game, easy life. For the people that aren't here, Nick at He Hates Gaming, you can find him on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. All of his stuff is linked below. And you can find Enashi at Enashi's Game Room on YouTube, at Enashi on Twitter. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. And next week we will be talking about the new systems. Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
my birthday is next Saturday, so that's also
Let's
good.
go.
Let's go. I'll get old.
Yeah.
Getting old. Doing stuff.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.